Hello, everybody, and welcome to a very spooky special episode of Game Night at Gen Con. We are going to revisit Alien. We played through one cinematic adventure earlier in the year, and now we are visiting their second one. The first one was very alien. This one is going to be very aliens, as you will see as we go through our guests. So, why don't I introduce our players, or let them introduce themselves? First, Bonsai.
Hello, everybody. My name is Bonsai Baby. I identify as she, her, and I am. Do I say what character I'm playing too? No.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I am playing Dante, and I am very, very vast. And just sit around, talk to me. I just want to know about you. All those things. It's more than just guns, man. It's more than just guns. Be professional about it. All those things. But yeah, I hope to survive because there's nothing wrong. This is, of course, nothing's wrong in space.
You sound like the Cham of the group. Those of who remember the last time we did it. You sound like the nice, well-adjusted one that we'll all treasure and will definitely survive.
Totally.
Jordan, why don't you introduce yourself?
Absolutely. My name is Jordan. I work at Gen Con in marketing, etc. Today I am playing Chaplin. I am openly an android. And I definitely don't have a chip on my shoulder about it. I'm just an android. Some people are. So please stop coming up to me saying, Chaplin, I heard you're an android. How is that? What is it like? Is it true that your blood looks like milk? It does, but I still bleed. I may not bleed blood like all of you, but I still bleed. And I would just ask that you respect me accordingly.
Kelsey, how about you?
Hello, I am Kelsey DeRozier. My pronouns are they, them. I am your Gen Con community manager and non-binary pal. And I will be playing everyone's favorite captain, Captain Sylvia. I love guns, I love commanding, and I love my little ciggies. You guys don't want to know how many boxes of candy cigarettes I had to buy in order to get any of them. I will be leading this group, and I will be making sure we get the job done.
You'll be eating all the candy cigarettes tonight, right? All of them?
I just ate one now.
And finally, Javion joining us again. Thank you for coming on the stream. Why don't you introduce yourself and say who you are playing?
Hi, Derek. Hi, everybody. I'm super sad that Isabella couldn't be here today, but I will be filling in for her as the very, very muscular, manly Private Hammer. I also am in my off hours, a sales specialist at Ray Gun Lounge, which is actually going to be opening back up on November 4th if anybody's excited to go to their favorite gaming lounge in Seattle.
Sweet. And I am Derek Guter. I'm the director of events at Gen Con, and we are going to tell an alien story.
This is my second time.
It is your second time.
Yeah.
And you don't even like horror
together.
games. So,
it's the worst.
I think you mean the best. You're so easily scared, and that's what makes this so
I'm really
great.
excited if anyone gets actually scared here, like myself included. I want to be frightened this fine spooky day. Do your best, Derek.
Yeah, Javion, your door's open behind you. You probably should close that.
Well, we are off to a great start. So on the note of horror, we are playing a horror game. So there's a couple things that we probably want to talk about. One is as a group, all of us, we are playing a very violent game. We're playing a scary game. Violence of people on people. It's not just aliens in this case. Think of the movie Aliens. Think of the things that happened in that movie. Those are the kinds of things that can happen in this game. So we talked about it a little bit before stream, but before we go into it, I just want to give everybody another chance. If there's anything that they specifically do not want to happen at all, or they don't want to happen on screen, let us know. If you change your mind later, that's okay. Let us know. We're all here to have fun. So, I think if you weren't ready for at least some alien spookiness, then you wouldn't be here at the table. But if there's any particular elements that become just too much for you, let us know and we will adapt appropriately. Anybody in the audience, if you get a little scared, one, it'll be super flattering for us if you get super scared. But two, if you need to take a break and you need to step away, absolutely do so. Take care of yourself. Come back when you're feeling better, and hopefully we can pick up where we left off. Is there anything anybody wants to kind of say or they're concerned about beyond what we discussed before the stream? Okay. We're not really going to spend a whole lot of time going through the mechanics the way we did in the original stream, just because we only have 3 hours, and this adventure, I think, has the potential to be much, much larger. This is Destroyer of Worlds. We're running it on Roll20 as a module, which is the first time that I've run anything on Roll20, but I'm extremely interested. Like, there's a lot of really cool stuff here that I was able to experiment with Marcus and whatnot for production and testing. There's some very cool maps. I think it's going to be very different from when we played in person, and we had those maps we kind of had to share back and forth. All of you should have your own maps once we share them, once you acquire them. You will kind of be able to pull up things in your journals. You'll be able to keep track of stuff. I'll be able to share surprises and secrets with you individually. So always keep in mind that I might be sharing secret information with one of your fellow players, and not telling you.
Mm-hmm.
The core mechanic, though, just to let everybody know, because a lot of this rolling is going to happen through Roll20's chat. The core mechanic is you're going to roll a bunch of D6s. Okay. If you get a 6, at least 1 6 on your rolls, then you succeeded. You got at least 1 success. If you did not get any 6s, then you did not succeed, and things are probably going to go bad for you. One important mechanic to keep in mind is that you can always push yourself. Pushing allows you to roll any dice that did not succeed and try again. And that dramatically increases your chances of success. But every time you push yourself, your stress goes up by 1. And then you add yellow dice to your pool. Yellow dice are more dice. That's great. However, if a yellow die ever has a 1, then you not only have to roll to freak out, but you can't push that roll either. So there's a few limitations. Stress is basically a risk-reward kind of situation. Keep an eye on it. Use it. But don't let it get the better of you, if you know what I mean.
What are some good ways to reduce stress?
Some of you, I think, have traits that allow you to reduce stress as a group. There's also interacting with your kind of signature item allows you to reduce your stress. Spending time in a location that you feel is safe allows you to reduce your stress. We'll see if you end up with any of those things as we go through this. But that does remind me, because it doesn't look like I have a digital version of it, I'm going to step to the side and grab my screen, which has a few charts that are useful. I'll be right back.
Does this mean I have time to go get my Nerf gun that I painted specifically for this that I forgot about until Bonzo just mentioned it? I'm going to go get my gun. I'll be right back.
See it.
Please.
Do it.
Please do.
Do it. More atmosphere.
I'm
trying to make sure. I'm trying to sit such that my stickers will appear.
Yeah. That's a lot of
Very
stickers.
nice. Very nice stickers.
Now we discover the cost of running when in a dark room is that you then can't read your very darkly printed GM screen very well. All right. So you are primed and ready to go.
Yes.
I did drop all of my fake cigarettes, though.
No, you can't drop the ciggies.
I did notice that my signature item is my cigarettes, which means that I am going to be so sugared up by the end of this.
Yep.
You're pre-gaming for Halloween, that's all.
Yeah. That's what I do on my tabletop RPGs.
Do we have any questions before we jump into things?
Is everybody else going to be using character voices? Because I'm going to be using it.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Awesome.
I will do the best I can. I am extremely bad at accents, so I will very likely say, "Hey, this person speaks in this accent," and then speak normally, so that I don't make a complete fool of myself and other people.
Mm-hmm.
I have faith in you, Derek.
We'll do it.
We'll see.
You can do it, mother.
Mother.
Hello, mother.
Mother.
Yeah, Jordan points out that the GM in Alien is called Mother, which is extremely amusing to me. So, let's get into it. So you have all heard about the oil wars. Hell, most of you have been on the front line as the United Americas, the Three World Empire, and the Union of Progressive Peoples have faced each other down over scarce oil resources. Too many fronts, not enough grunts, as the saying goes. The United America's Allied Command, UAAC, and the Colonial Marines maintain an uneasy peace as protesters and insurgents cause trouble across the colonies. This is true of the United America's refining and refueling station on the frozen moon of Aristarchus in the Kruger 60 system. Allow me to show you it. That should now be appearing on your screen and be added to your journal.
Ooh.
Ooh. Space.
With its oil production and space elevator reaching into orbit from the ground. But the colony is in turmoil and decline. The 2180 Wayland-Yutani census cataloged 200,000 colonists on Aristarchus. In the 3 years since then, all but 2,000 have abandoned the moon for greener pastures. Whilst the military needs of the US CMC are still being serviced, most of the colony is now little more than a ghost town. 1 week ago, the Union of Progressive Peoples annexed the nearby 61 Cygni system. All communication with the colony there on LV-038 was abruptly lost. In response, Allied Command assembled a fleet to take back 61 Cygni, using Fort Nebraska refueling station in the Kruger 60 system as a staging point. That's where you are. You're at Fort Nebraska. You expected to be passing through Nebraska on your way to war, but each of you Marines were pulled from your companies before they went FTL, leaving you stranded at the fort on a volatile colony moon, Aristarchus. Most of the largest oil producers one of the largest oil producers in the colonies, Aristarchus is also a hotbed of insurgency. With the UPP moving in on Kruger 60 next, which is where you are, remember, the United Americas has decided to cut its losses and evacuate the colony. But as of this morning, that evacuation was suspended. All civilian and military transports were grounded with no explanation given. With the insurgency problem, barely a skeleton crew of military personnel and nearly 2,200 divided colonists stuck moonside, it's only a matter of time before the situation blows up. Now, Major Hatfield from the infamous Sin Eaters unit has summoned you for a special moonside mission. Every Marine has heard of Hatfield, a real soldier who always puts duty first and lost his arm as a result. His remaining left hand is always resting on the brass hilt of his antique U.S. model 1852 Marine sword, with its shark skin grip bound by gilt wire. His hand grips the hilt as he speaks. Okay, listen up. Everything you are about to hear is need to know, and no one else needs to know. Understand?
Understood.
Affirmative.
Understood.
Yes, sir.
As of 0200 hours, a 4-man Marine squad went AWOL from this base with classified intelligence. Intelligence that in the wrong hands will mean life or death in the frontier. Intelligence that simply cannot fall into enemy hands. Command believes the AWOLs plan to make contact with the Moon's insurgents and defect to the UPP. We are looking for Wojcik, Carvalho, Wright, and Reese. Here's their ugly mugs and all the info we have on them. Everything else about them is classified. So give me one moment. This is Carvalho. And Reese. Wojcik. and right. So you each should have a little portrait that you can kind of drag around. You can close it. It should stay in your journal now. You should be able to pull it back up.
Private Hammer's
Damn.
gonna give a stern sneer at all of them.
Okay.
Damn, sir, that's some ugly mugs.
You're damn right. I want you to find these defectors for me, confirm their identities, as well as the identities of any... And he kind of like pauses, realizing that he is on a PG-13 stream. And says, individuals they've passed information to and bring them in. For the duration, you are Charlie team. I will coordinate from Fort Nebraska. And allow me to show you Fort Nebraska. It is a beautiful place.
Oh, majestic.
Did I mention that this is a very cold moon?
Oh.
I'm obviously dressed for it.
Yep. All communications will go through me on a secure channel. We are thin on leads, so start at the spaceport of that dive bar Oblivion. Some jerk there has got to have seen them. Remember, there are insurgents out there too, so stay alert. He kind of pauses for a moment. Hammer is probably still sneering there. I see some looks. I know you've never worked together before as a team, but I cherry-picked you because each of you is the best there is at what you do. And what you do ain't pretty, but we'll leave that aside. Man, I am... There we go. Each of you is the best there is at what you do. So get it done. One last thing. Deadly force is authorized. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Crystal.
Yes.
All right. Now I know what else you might be thinking. These bastards are not Marines any longer. They're traitors. And they have intelligence that cannot be released to the UPP. Do what you need to do to take them in. Alive is preferred, but is not required. If they present a clear and present threat to yourself, take them out. Am I clear?
Crystal.
Yes.
I
Sir.
cannot
I
hear
am.
you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
All right. Dismissed. Fall in, move out. And with that, Hatfield basically turns to the rest of his notes and turns back to the paperwork that he's working on clearly for this evacuation of the moon. And there are the 4 of you, and there is also Iona, the sergeant, Mason, the gunnery sergeant, and Majewski, the private first class. So there are 3 other Marines with you. What would you all like to do?
I want to make sure I get
Allow me.
everybody's character name right.
I'm going to move you all to the map of Ariarchus.
Ooh.
So you should now have a map of the city.
Oh, it's a big city.
Huge.
Wow.
A lot of it is abandoned, but let me...
What area are we in?
You are in right in the middle. There's a little kind of green
Oh, that green
oblong
spot?
thing. That's
That's
Fort
Fort.
Nebraska.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to get motion trackers. I'm going to get radar pings and drop them on the map where you have kind of been mentioned you might want to go.
Okay. Huh.
So you are right here at Fort Nebraska. Now that I'm covering it up, and I'll put it right there maybe. You have Oblivion, the bar, has been mentioned right here. And down here, you'll see is the spaceport. Other points of note that will kind of be in your notes is that there is a Marshal station right here, right above this. And there's also a hospital over here. And there is a abandoned oil refinery to the north. So, you basically have some time to kind of go through the briefings that you have. You get the very basic information on the 4 Marines who are missing. They were part of a mission They were receiving medical care after the end of that mission, and during that process, they escaped, went AWOL, and are now suspected of being traitors who are trying to smuggle information to the UPP, who are on the eve of invading the very, very cold frozen moon that you are on. So another thing that I think we talked about, just to make sure the viewers are aware of, is that all of you have been given your agenda for the Act 1, basically. Act 1 being Manhunt. But you've all been given your agendas. You know what your agenda is. You don't know what anybody else's agenda is. You don't know who, what, or what other secrets might be out there. As we go through each act, you'll get a new agenda. You're encouraged to kind of role play and pursue that agenda, basically. That's your hook.
So
Any
we're
questions?
Go for it.
I don't have any questions, so if you had a question, go for that. I was just going to break into some terrible roleplay.
So we're standing outside of a fort right now. Is that right?
You could be in it. You're basically walking through the fort. I'm going to move you all to Fort Nebraska. So you should now see kind of the layout of Fort Nebraska.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
So, you have been on level 1 and 2. You've been on sub-level 1. You can kind of see that this is almost like a pentagon-like shape. It connects to the space elevator that goes into this counterpoint station in orbit. There's huge fuel canisters that are storing things. This is where the drop ships are stored. There's APCs, there's tanks. There's a variety of stuff kind of scattered around this area. But you're at the base. I'm assuming there's kind of a walking and talking montage where the squad is determining what you want to do next. Perhaps your captain has an idea of where she's going to deploy you, things like that.
All right. Listen up. These Marines, they're part of my own. They're sin eaters. I've been a sin eater my whole career here. I don't know if they've gone traitor. I don't know if something's happened to them. All I know is we're going to be the ones to find them, and we're going to be the ones to deal with them. So if we're going to this bar to check it out, I have a feeling that they're not going to like the look of some military jerks like us heading into a bar trying to pick out information. We got to be subtle about this. Do any of you have any kind of experience with covert ops?
I don't know about experience so much in covert ops. Just like, hey, you know me. Just put me in a crowd, hand me a beer. I'll get talking. You know that is, hey, right, Amber?
Sometimes I like to go to a bar and see if anyone realizes that I'm an android.
Great.
Yeah. Can you even drink that stuff? I totally forgot about that, man.
Yeah, I can drink it. It doesn't do much for me, but I can drink it. It does make humans more comfortable.
Does it just dribble out the side of your mouth like a weirdo?
No, I have organs and things like that.
Whatever. Anyway, if you two think you are experienced at bar folk, I'm going to let you two take point on going to that bar in Oblivion.
All right, head out. Come on. I try to high five the android. You gotta work on your people skill. Yeah, no, that's no problem. All right, it's cool. It's cool.
Just watching all this, like.
So, leaving Fort Nebraska, radiating out from the central fort, you can kind of see the settlement of the main city of Ariarchus sprawls over about 16 kilometers. There's 4 districts. Most of it is composed of these prefab buildings, cargo containers that have been stacked, fitted together, holes cut in, and things like that. This is very much a dirty, industrial, lived-in, utilitarian kind of settlement. These were miners. laborers, people who were working and trying to get as much money as they could. It is not a utopia that was built for people to retire to, basically. There are a number of kind of charge stations around the city where communal ATVs are available. So you can hop on one of those, or you all kind of split up. I'll get your own. You could walk to Oblivion's End, or Eye of Oblivion. How do you guys travel to the bar, basically?
Private Hammer is going to suggest, yeehaw! That means let's get up on one of them ATVs and head on over.
Okay. So Hammer's already popping wheelies. The next question I have is, a number of you have an opportunity to basically arm up and ammo up before you leave. Are you going to take heavy equipment like flamethrowers and smart guns on your visit to the bar?
I'm going to go subtle. All I need is my big knife and my cigarettes.
Okay.
I'm already having flashbacks.
You're not allowed to have, judging from what I've heard, you're not allowed to have a flamethrower.
Are you going to permit any of your squad to have weapons?
If you can be subtle with your weaponry, you are allowed to have it. If you are going to the bar to interact with civilians that may potentially be part of these groups that are covert, trying to undermine us, I recommend you do not have obvious visible weapons. You're an android, you're basically a weapon, I guess, so I have no choice with you.
Yes,
but everyone else.
I am very strong.
Yeah, I bet that's what all the ladies tell you. Okay, let's go.
Yeah. Do I know if it's like, if this bar, like offhand, since we've lived here essentially, like if it's common for people to just also have a pistol or something on there? Because, or is that just uncommon?
So I don't think you've actually lived here. You were all coming in.
No, mine. Yes, I have. Fort Nebraska is where we're at, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you actually from Fort Nebraska?
Yeah.
Oh, great.
And I have been. So can I say this out loud or no? Because
it's up to you.
Yeah, it basically, I've just been here ever since. Like I got assigned here. And then I've been here ever since. So.
Okay, great. Yeah, so you've been here for a while. So you would know that a couple things about this bar. So first, it is called Eye of Oblivion, and there's a large blue neon winking eye with a red crescent moon at the center that kind of marks it. Like that's the sign for it. It is run by. How do you feel about androids, by the way? Do you like androids? Are they people in your eyes?
In my eyes?
Yep.
Like,
what does Dante think about androids?
You know what? They're people enough. I can talk to them.
Great.
That's people
so
enough
then
for
it's
me.
Then my answer is it's run by a woman who happens to be an android, whose name is Fei or Fei Squared, depending on who you ask.
It's Fei. Hey,
yep,
Fei.
So it's run by Fei. It is known to be a pretty rough and tumble place. A fair amount of people do come armed with like pistols and stuff like that. A lot of those are checked to the door depending on how rough things are. But it's also known to be a very popular hangout for insurgents and folks who are not quite as pleased with the presence of the United America's military.
Okay. So I don't think
it's not a colonial Marines hangout, basically. You know that much.
All right. So I probably wouldn't have, like, my person probably wouldn't have hung out, but probably would still just, it's a bar, maybe one time.
Yeah. I mean, you certainly may have been there. You probably didn't show up in fatigues. So it sounds like maybe you want to change into something a little less formal, perhaps? Or are you going to go in there with authority?
I'd say it's up to the captain.
Yeah.
Oh, please.
I would suggest formal bear because, I don't know if you guys are local around this area, but,
Oh, no, we're about to have a clothing montage here, so let's get to it. I just imagine the android going in slow motion, and the only thing that changes is he puts on a hat, like,
Trying to tie
Oh,
a tie. I'm like walking
you have
around
a-
to see if anyone can help me.
Chaplain, have you shared your signature items yet? Because
No.
you have a collection of these
don't
plastic
like to-
Charlie Chaplin mustache.
What?
I don't like to talk about that. That's very
Okay.
Look, my name is Chaplin. We're in Charlie Company. They've called me Charlie Chaplin. I have, I like to I like to let people feel like I'm in on the joke. So I have some mustaches. Sometimes I put them on. Everyone laughs with me, not at me. And it's just something that I do sometimes.
Okay. So it sounds like you are all going to kind of change into something that might reduce the ire that you're going to get from some of these locals. And it is worth noting that of the 3 Marines that we don't have players for, you have Iona, who when Silva, when you say like, we're not going to go in with guns with anything obvious, Iona kind of like looks down at the smart gun that's rigged to her, or that will I guess you're probably where a lot of your equipment would be set. She like looks at that and it's like, probably Captain, probably not that one. You want something like, and she like points at the pulse rifle and is like, not that one either. We just take.
I think this is subtle. This is as subtle as I get.
So when you say that, Majewski takes his flamethrower that he had been kind of equipping up, kind of like smiles, puts it back on the rack, and then just starts caressing his belt. Like, yeah, Captain, subtle. Let's see what they think of the belt. And you all know that like Majewski has this thing about when you meet somebody new, he likes to take his really stinky belt and make him smell it. And if they're like, yeah, okay, it's a stinky belt, he's like, yeah, you're cool. And if they don't, there's been a couple times you've had to break up a fight, and he pulls a knife, like a hidden knife from the belt. So Majewski is up there with the subtle. He's on your page there. He may not be as on the page with some other aspects that you're talking
Wait, does
about.
he take the belt off?
Yes. Otherwise,
Okay.
it'd be extra weird if he didn't take the belt
It's
off.
already weird.
Majewski's a special guy.
Majewski, you're staying outside with me. We'll watch the perimeter.
All right. Yeah, he just like sighs heavily, and you just kind of like his hands get tight in his belt.
I give him one of my cigarettes. Take a smoke. Calm down.
Yeah. So I believe that Majewski and Mason are both normally equipped with incinerators. And Iona is the other one with a smart gun.
Yeah. I suspect that anyone who has weapons that they can't hide, that do we get to like, is that ATV still around? Like, is it like a zip car? Is it mine for the next hour?
I've just been,
you basically
Hammer's
it's
just been
more
doing
like
donuts.
it's more like the bike shares that you sometimes have,
Okay.
where you just like drive it to a station and plug it in, and when you need it again, you just go back to a station and grab one.
Right, so I can't
like
leave stuff on the ATV.
Not like you. It sounds like you're just going to sit on the ATV outside.
Okay. All right, so if I'm
That's
sitting
totally-
on the
that's totally
ATV, if I'm sitting on the ATV outside, I'm gonna be like, okay. Anyone who has a weapon that's too big to hide, give it to me. We'll put it on the ATV.
Okay. So just to be clear, it sounds like you basically have 2 Marines who are in civilian clothes going into the bar to talk to folks. The other 5 of you, with an assortment of a variety of extremely large murdering weapons, are sitting on ATVs outside, possibly with Hammer and Majewski flexing and masculining it up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hammer, do you want to go in with them, or do you want to stay out here with me?
Send me in.
All right, whatever. Go in. Don't make an ass of yourself. Am I allowed to say that on Twitch? Did I ever
You
break
just
the
did.
rules?
You just did.
It's fine. It's fine. You get donkey. It's a donkey.
It's a donkey.
Well,
A donkey.
also, I think it's in the realm of PG-13. You can say ass in
Okay.
PG-13.
Okay.
Great. So those of you who are outside, which at this point seems like it's just Silva plus Iona, Majewski, and Mason. Basically, a lot of the heavy weaponry of the squad are outside. And Silva, you definitely get a very kind of mixed impression from the limited number of people that you see walk by. Remember, this was a settlement for 200,000 people that is now only about 2,200. So there's a lot of boarded up buildings. There's a lot of decrepit buildings. There's there's little fires kind of burning here and there. Honestly, you see a lot of graffiti. It's a pretty even mix of Marines go home, Marines F off. A variety. There's a lot of dicks drawn, jizzing all over Marines and stuff like that, because that's what graffiti always ends up doing. And that's mixed with almost as much of just get me off this rock. I don't want to die in the cold. Despair of the Marines are here, so could you just please help us get off of this rock before the war comes and takes us, kind of thing. Anything that you want to do on the outside, or are you just waiting for your three on the inside to do their thing?
I am gonna keep a weather eye out for any signs of like shifty activity. Is there a back door to this bar?
You don't know.
Okay.
I think that Dante is the only one who's been familiar with it.
Okay.
You could probably send, one of your remaining Marines to go figure it out if you really wanted to. If you wanted to send them off alone by themselves.
I think what I will do is actually send two of them, since I'm here. I can coordinate TP.
Sure.
I'm covered in guns. And I will send off Iona and the pirate first class, whose name? How do I pronounce his last name?
Try it again. Just try it any way that you think it.
Zimiski?
So you see, he really bristles and he's like, Majewski. You're
All
gonna
right.
get it right at some point.
Maybe depends on how good you do today. Mizuski.
So you send Iona and Majewski. Yeah, so the two of them, are you sending them with their incinerator and smart gun?
Smart gun, yes. Incinerator, no.
Okay. So not only do you mispronounce his name, you take away his flamethrower. So as the two of them walk away, you see that Iona is very carefully, almost nervously panning around. She has the smart gun up, but she's definitely on edge. And Majewski's just looking at you as he's kind of walking behind her.
I'm just meeting his stare the whole time.
Oh yeah. All right. So on the inside, you enter again. There's a big blue neon winking eye with a red crescent moon in the middle. And you go inside, and the base is rumbling everywhere. Chaplain, you're probably feeling it vibrate some of your internal tubing, basically. The rest of you, your organs are kind of shifting with the beat. Smoke stings your nostrils. There are strobes that are blue and crimson kind of cutting through the smoke and haze in the bar. There's all these haloed ghost lights as the kind of strobes, hit your eyeballs and stuff like that. Imagine the cool cyberpunk dirty bar of the future, and that's kind of what you get here.
Mm-hmm.
Even to the point where, actually, while I'm thinking of it, I should remember that I can do this magical thing.
Ooh.
I have moved you to the bar.
There's a cloakroom.
Nice.
That's where.
Should we check our codes?
That's where cloaking devices are
first?
enabled and disabled. I'm sorry.
Should we do code check? What do you guys think? Is it How warm is it? Are we gonna?
Is
Is it
there
gonna be
feet?
annoying?
Oh,
to...
it's frozen. We have to check in codes or something. It's
Yeah.
cold. It's a winter wonderland here.
I refer you to the Fort Nebraska image that I shared with you previously.
Oh, there is a back door. Okay.
So the actually the other thing I wanted to tell you outside Silva is it's starting to get darker and darker, faster than it normally would. Partly because it's getting night, but partly because you can see that there is a huge storm on the way.
I think she will just keep an eye on that storm, and as she's keeping an eye on everything else.
Great.
Actually, in this world, no, I mean, I guess like you just keep your coat on you. This is the bar hangout area.
So I mean, if you go in, you can see that there's a bit of a mix. A lot of like the coat room certainly has a lot of suits in there. They all look very similar. They're all company issued, or most of them are company issued. There's a lot of people who take them off, leave them at the door, and then they go and live up in as much as they can in the bar. There's a few folks who just seem to live in it, almost like they don't want to know what they look like when they take it off kind of situation. So there's a mix. You can go either way. And the other kind of feature that really stands out is that big, long S-shaped bar. So not only is it weird and curved, it is lit from the bottom, and that is where the dancers are performing. So if you want your drink, you gotta kind of like go through their gyrating limbs.
They're dancing on the bar. Oh, okay.
Yep, they are dancing on the bar. There are currently 9 folks dancing. 4 men, 5. At best you can tell from here, 4 men, 5 women. Of a variety of broadly appealing body types. Basically, doing the kind of things that dancers at a seedy bar tend to do. So, what do you want to do? You want to talk to the crowd? Do you want to talk to Fei? Do you want to mingle? Do you want to talk to the dancers?
So Private Hammer is going to follow, but at a distance behind Chaplin and Bonzo. What's your character's name again?
Dante. My exes
Dante.
call me Dante's Inferno.
Okay. Private Hammer is going to stay like 20, maybe even 30 feet behind Dante and Chaplin, or Charlie.
10 meters.
Yeah. So that they don't get seen going in together. And then Private Hammer is literally just going to lean up against a wall in a corner somewhere and watch until a fight breaks out, or until he gets like a signal from you guys. If you want to come up with like a signal or something.
Chaplin is really hung up on whether or not he should check his coat, so he's sort of looking at Dante to wait for her to leave. He really just wants to do the right thing.
I'll just check in the coat. It makes it looser so I can talk to people, be more approachable.
Sure. Yeah. Great. So why don't we just take a moment with Hammer? Hammer kind of leans up against the wall, feels the bass, flowing through him. Is this a scene that Hammer likes? Is Hammer comfortable here? Is he uncomfortable here? How's Hammer feeling?
Hammer's pretty comfortable. He knows that he could take any single person or group of people insurgents, traitors, who try to step to him. So he's calm, cool, and collected, and he's just waiting for the opportunity to come up.
Well, I'm curious. Is he waiting for an opportunity to do his mission, or is he waiting for an opportunity to beat the shit out of somebody?
He's waiting for opportunity to show some muscle, pull out his gun or his combat knife.
All right.
When that happens, he's going to spring into action. But he's not a talker.
Great. Let's take a moment to just kind of show some of the mechanics here. So you have your character sheet there. I want you to give me an observation roll.
Cool.
So if you look at your character sheet, kind of in the middle, you'll see the attributes. On the right hand side of those, you'll see wits. Observation is one of those wit skills. Why don't you, if you click on observation, it'll ask you if you want to add any bonus dice. Just say no and just roll observation, and we'll see how that plays out for you.
Oh, I'm going to take the pop out of the way because it's annoying. All right, there we go.
Okay. So looks like you had 3 dice to roll. You did not get any 6s, so you did not get any successes. So you're surveying this, but nothing remarkable leaps out at you, basically.
All right, good.
Well, I mean, you do definitely see all the usual things that you'd expect. There's a few pretty ladies, many of whom are getting more attention than they probably want from folks around here. Hammer's perspective on that might perhaps be that it would be his attention that they would want, up to you.
Sure.
There's also, a number of tough people, kind of grouped. Like it's the kind of scene you'd expect from a movie bar. You can kind of tell that when the fight breaks out, which of these people are going to be part of the fight and which of these people are going to be running for the exit, if you get what I mean.
Yep.
Sure.
So Dante and Chaplin, what's your approach?
I think I'll go ahead and notice that that Chaplin here is a little like nervous about things, but I heard about this bar, like, since they're so alike, him and Feifei, they probably get along. Maybe he'll loosen up a bit. So I can
Sure.
just kind of let him talk. So I'll go up and try to see if I can talk to Feifei and introduce them together.
Sure. All right, so you're going to seek out Feifei. Give me just one moment, because I need to get... There we go. Okay.
By the way, Derek, I don't know what you were worried about. Your character voices are incredible.
Well, I've only done like 2 so far.
I love them.
So, yeah, well, I've also only done men so far. So now that you meet Feifei, we'll see how bad it is.
Oh boy.
So
Oh boy.
Oh, let's see what Feifei's
Oh,
personality
boise.
is.
maybe we'll just skip that part. Yeah, so the information you get from Feifei is, so you go and seek out Feifei. Have you been friendly with Feifei before? Are you on a first name basis, or do you just know what she looks like? Or
I feel like I've been to this bar before and I'm always talking to people. There's not really much you can do in the frozen base. So I probably this is not my favorite bar, but if I come, I'd be like, oh, I don't have prejudice against androids. That's why I'm like, yeah, hey.
Yeah. So, like, I mean, it
Feifei.
is worth noting that this is basically the only actual bar here. It's
Oh,
not
'cause
the
then-
only place you can go to drink. There are plenty of places you can go to drink. But all of those are like someone's basement or the back room or the warehouse when the boss is off duty. Like,
Oh,
none
then
of
I
them
would
are
probably know Feifei because I
Great.
like to like people, man. I like people.
Okay. So you see Feifei walking around. And Chaplin, I'm going to presume that you're fairly well informed about Android models. So you immediately recognize that Feifei is a older venture type pleasure model, synthetic humanoid. So it's a fairly attractive, but you know that they're a little bit out of date feature wise. You also actually know that that generation, from what it looks like, unless she's gotten a software upgrade, they have a tendency to misunderstand or misinterpret questions.
Okay.
So sometimes you have to be careful with phrasing. But Dante, you walk up to Feifei, like Feifei turns around, it's kind of like delivering drinks to one table, like maybe there was a little bit of a complaint or something like that, and she's soothing it over, and she kind of turns, sees you.
Feifei!
Hello, it is you, Dante.
Yeah, how you been? It looks like a good crowd tonight.
Does it? And she kind of turns around. It looks like a normal crowd to me.
Ah, you and your jokes. Oh, hey, wait, I wanted you to meet somebody. I think you guys would have a lot in common. Chaplin, meet Feifei, Chaplin.
Hello, Chaplin.
Hello, my name is Chaplin. I am also an android. It's very nice to meet you, fellow android.
Is the android thing the thing that we have in common?
Right off the bat, that's what I've got. I think that if we probably have more in common. What do you do?
Also
What do you
own a
like?
bar?
No. What do you like to do for fun?
Run a bar.
That's good. So you enjoy your work.
Yes.
That's good to hear. I think that it's important in life to find work that you enjoy. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes. Is that what brings you here? My bar?
Yes, your bar.
Yes. So, Dante, at any point...
Yeah, but at any point where I say, oh, hey, what's the drink specials? Or like, I'll be like, if she looks like she's having
Sure.
a tray, I'll be like, let's say that I will just gracious myself to help out and bring that tray back. If she looks like they have a conversation, be like, you know me, Feifei, I'll help out. What are drink specials today? I'm gonna go ahead and go get a drink and stuff. And
Okay.
you know.
So I think what happens here is you grab the tray and kind of like go off and leave the two androids to just kind of like they just. It almost feels like it's two chatbots trying to seduce each other or something like that. Where
There's a lot of subtext. There's a lot of subtext that you couldn't understand if you're not an android.
Yeah, you really got to be in on the synthetic
Beneath the
humanoids.
surface, there's.
So, when you kind of come back with the drinks, Chaplain, you have reached whatever you can describe as a rapport with Feifei. Do any of you have any questions? I mean, so she'll eventually ask, like, what brings you out now for drinks? From what I understand, the evacuation has been halted. I would have expected a tenser situation. You are not even in uniform.
Feifei, you know how I am. I don't. It's not good for my chest to be so stressed. I just want to hang out with some people. It's just.
Yes, you have described this as getting wasted. You came here to get wasted?
Yeah.
Would
Seems
you like
about
your
right.
usual?
Sure. And then
so she leads you to a booth, this is going to sound very sad, Dante, so if you want this to be different, like a booth basically for one or two, basically, that you are normally led to, where you just get wasted and waste your night away there without bothering anyone.
I felt like talking to more people this time. Thank you, though. I'll just have one for now and then mingle. Yeah, but that's good. You know what? I know, Feifei. Thank you. I'll just go ahead and do the side hug. I know you're always there for me, Feifei. I'm gonna just mingle.
Yes, because I am here at the bar.
Exactly. You know what? It's so easy to talk to you, Feifei. You know that?
I did not.
Your jokes.
So do you have any questions for Feifei? Chaplain, you can certainly chime in too.
I guess my question, I'm gonna just go ahead and see, like, hey, Feifei. Oh yeah, before I forget.
Yes, Dante?
So, like, have you seen this, or I guess would I know? No, they're not. I'm gonna go ahead and have a little photo.
Yeah. You had full briefings. You can have grabbed the photos or made copies, or you all have like personal digital devices and shit like that you can bring up photos on if you need to.
I'm gonna show the picture of Reese, right?
Yep.
And be like, hey, Feifei, I made a bet with this person. Have you seen them in the bar or anything lately?
How long ago is lately?
Like, I just I just want to collect my money. It's been like what, I guess it's been a week. Have they been around
in the past week? Yes.
Oh man, shoot! Did I just miss them? Are they just like, was that like a few days ago? Because I really want to just get my money back.
It was not a few days ago.
Was it 3 days ago?
So I think we can cut to the point where you managed to narrow down, because she's basically just going to answer your questions pretty much as literally as you ask them. But ultimately, she explains that Reese, she recognized, was here last night. And she kind of looks at Dante, got wasted, and was picked up by the marshals. And if they have slept it off, they may still be at the marshal station.
Thanks, Feifei. I know you're always a charmer, and then I'll just nudge her a bit. Thanks. That's good stuff. Yeah. I'm friends. We're totally friends. Me and Feifei are friends. Totally.
Thank you, Feifei.
You are welcome, Chaplain. Is there anything else that you would like to do in the bar? You just want to ask Feifei about the one individual?
I'm gonna actually can I do an observation roll just to look around to see if any of the faces look like any of the people?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Yes, I can do this observation roll. It's fine.
Hey, look at you.
Ooh.
You're all sharp Marines who can't see anything.
Wow.
Yeah.
So this may also be a point where to remind you, like, if you do anything, if you have any equipment that might help you, if you want to assist each other, each person helping adds 1 die to the roll. That's where the bonuses would come in. So, like, if you were to look and Chaplain were to assist you, when you click on observation and it's like, well, how many bonus dice, you would add 1 bonus die and it would have rolled 4 for you, stuff like that. Keep in mind, you can also push yourself. You can push the roll. You take 1 stress and you re-roll all the dice that failed. Would you like to do that?
I can stress myself a little bit just to look around.
Just a little bit.
You know what?
You can have a little bit of stress as a treat.
I'm just gonna have a little stress because I'm kind of drinking, but I'm also trying to like not drink that much and keep my
Sure.
I want to get this. I don't want to look too sloppy while doing this and stuff.
Great.
But, it just when these things, it just stresses my heart out a little bit. I gotta take a moment.
We'll get there.
Breathe.
So, great. So why don't you re-roll?
Let me add the stress then?
Yep.
Yes.
So add 1 stress, and now you're going to roll again. It should give you 4 dice, 1 of which will be yellow. And we should see that pop up in the chat.
Good luck, Dante.
Hey.
Good thing you stressed yourself out. So you notice a couple things.
Yes.
So first, you see, let me see here. You are probably near the bar. At the end of one of the tables in the back, there's an extremely drunk lady with a lot of bottles kind of stacked up around her, a bunch of papers kind of on the table. She stands out from the general atmosphere of frustration and despair that she exudes. You notice one of the dancers, actually an albino woman, who's kind of dancing near you. Seems like they may have overheard some of your conversation with Feifei, and they kind of like there's a look on their face. There's like a sneer or an uncomfortable like kind of thing on their face. And you see there are 2 men on the other side, kind of opposite where the drunk person is. There are 2 men that appear to be glancing at each other and glancing at you and then glancing back at each other and then every now and then glancing over at Hammer.
Oh.
Yeah, I should also explain Private Hammer didn't like decide to change into like casual clothes to blend in or anything like that. He doesn't care. He just looks like an Army Marine, like officer.
Right. So if Hammer is in fatigues, everybody's getting him a wide berth. And those 2 folks who are glancing at you and then every now and then at Hammer, flip that. They're glancing at Hammer and every now and then they look at you. And then finally, the last thing you notice is that the Eye of Oblivion has cameras kind of posted around.
All right. Posted around. All right. That's cool.
Like closed circuit cameras of some kind.
All right. Oh, man. Gosh darn it, Hammer. Making it look so odd. I'm just like kind of under my breath. God damn it. I'm drinking my drink.
So while you figure out what you want to do,
mm-hmm.
You and Chaplain and Hammer can certainly communicate in some way, even if it's just meaningful glances. Silva, can you remind me as to the exact wording of your command to Iona and Ms. Juski?
I told them to search for any alternative exits that were part of this facility and to keep an eye out for any suspicious persons.
Any suspicious persons. Got it. So, Chaplain and Dante.
All right. I'm gonna go ahead and just like, pretend like I'm just like kind of just hug it, like, on Chaplin, put my arm over and be like pretending like, oh, you want to hear this funny story, man? And I'll basically point out the people that I saw
Sure.
to Chaplin and like be like, oh man, and so like, what do you think of that story? Like basically seeing if Chaplin has any idea which one, if we want to just leave or get the information or check out the lady in the corner who probably needs a
There's
friend.
there's the lady, the dancer, the two gentlemen, and security cameras were the clues I gave you.
Yeah.
The two men frighten me. So that dancing person, she looks like she might be able to help us.
All right. So I guess. Let's see if I want it. Do I want it? Because she's snaring at me. She doesn't look. All right. I don't want to take up too much. I mean, Hammer, if you want to. Could I like do an eye signal at Hammer and be
Sure.
like, or
Absolutely.
is there like beepers? Is there beepers in this world?
You want to text his pager?
Be careful you don't give the wrong signal because he'll whip out his gun.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh my god.
So you like here's the thing, like I'm not particularly, we only have 3 hours to play this. I'm not particularly concerned with like you can't communicate with your other play, like we're telling a cool story here. You haven't necessarily, maybe you have met each other a little bit, maybe you've never worked together all together as a squad, maybe you sized up Hammer pretty quickly. If you want to like look at Hammer and just be like, hey, can you go talk to the dancer, you're more than welcome to do so. How Hammer interprets that is up to Hammer.
All right. So first thing I am gonna do by like, oh man, wait, hold on. I got a message, quickly like type out a message to the commander, be like, hey, this is the details. I found that Reese was picked up by the marshals. Send that might be still there. Do you want us to pursue more information?
I'm gonna somehow text back asking if Reese was alone or if he was with anybody else when he was there.
Unknown.
Is Fei still near us, or did she do that?
She's just, I think she would be walking around at this point.
It sounded like she's gonna. You can certainly call her back.
Should we ask her if we can see if like she records the like if we could get
you certainly
access to the camera?
So one question: did any of you take any particular cautions in your communications for this group chat, or are you just using the group chat basically provided by Fort Nebraska?
Ooh,
We were asked to make sure that we use a secure line.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
So this is the
figured
official Colonial Marines group chat, basically.
only for our group, right?
It's our special Marine Force Snapchat.
Yeah, sure.
And then
just to be clear, it's for
Chapman
your
says,
group.
wait, you guys,
There's
there's a group chat?
Plus people back in
Chaplin's
Fort
not on it.
Nebraska. That's the thing I'm trying to get at, is that your control back at the fort are on this group chat too.
Oh.
It sounds like Dante did not put 2 and 2 together on that, and I love that.
Yeah, no, Dante
Honestly,
did
I think
it.
that's perfect.
Okay, great. So
That's the information. Yeah.
Chaplain, do you want to talk to Fei about getting access to the security feeds?
Yes.
Great.
Fei.
Yes.
You seem like you're very good at owning this bar.
Why, thank you.
It was very smart for you to put these cameras here.
Why, thank you.
Is it possible for me to look at the recordings from last night so that I can better help my human friend collect They're dead.
That would be an invasion of a citizen's privacy, Chaplain.
Well, I suppose that's true, but it's not for, it's not for any, it's a friend of theirs. It's they would, if they were here and you asked them, they would be fine with it.
Do you think that is true, Chaplain? Why don't you roll manipulation for me? Let's see if you can convince me.
Yeah, it's my manipulation is really high. It's good.
I'll give you
got it.
+1 bonus die.
Oh, okay. That'll bring it up to 1.
Well, no, it keys off of an attribute. So
you got one.
Oh, okay.
Great.
Okay, it says 0 next to it. That's what I was wondering. Okay, but I get. All right.
Well, so what it is if you look at your character sheet, you are always adding a skill to an attribute.
Gotcha.
So when you click on
wits.
it and it says, manipulation 0, you still have whatever dice the attribute itself has. It's just no dice on top of it.
Oh, okay. Or that's like I have 4 empathy, so then like 4 plus 0. Okay.
Correct.
Gotcha.
Correct. Exactly.
Gotcha.
So actually, you did roll 5 dice. Great. So, she asked you, like, do you think that's true, Chaplain? And you answer presumably in the affirmative, and she's like, okay, and leads you back into the office. So while here, you go look at the security feeds.
Chaplain's carrying this mission right now.
Yeah, there you go,
seriously.
Chaplain. Told you, baby.
So, you are kind of, she brings you back to the computers. You get a feed off of the cameras. That's a little grainy because, this is a crappy town, despite being the beautiful, beautiful future. And we get to see a kind of a short scene of all 4 of the AWOL Marines coming into Eye of Oblivion. Okay. They meet with somebody, and they have a discussion. That person leaves. The 4 AWOL Marines then have a discussion amongst themselves that you watch get more and more heated and escalated until 3 of them kind of just get up and storm off in different ways, leaving just one there who just starts drinking.
Reeks.
Oh, excuse me. Sorry.
Well, apparently there's a coyote outside my house right now.
Oh no.
Ooh.
I'm getting reports from the front. So that's what you can see in the back. Now, back in the bar, what is Hammer and Dante doing?
Hammer's waiting for a signal.
Did Dante make the signal?
Dante. Well, not to the albino lady, but maybe to the 2 dudes that are.
Can I have like a visual representation of what your signal is? Like, I want to know if it's like an elaborate dance move or a text message or like caw. Like,
No. It's just going. I'm gonna look kind of like at my drink, and I go head tilt, and then nod, and then take my drink at the 2. Subtle,
Okay.
very subtle. Like, yo.
All right.
Here.
Private Hammer gets the message loud and clear. He heads over to the 2 gentlemen, and he doesn't know what he's supposed to say, but he'll approach.
Sure. So you start heading over that way, and conspicuously, the moment you head that way, they're both the people are kind of wearing their not environmental suits, but they're wearing their cold weather clothes, basically. And as you're heading over that way, one of them kind of conspicuously gets up and heads for the exit. And you can kind of see as they get up and their hood kind of falls back, it's actually a woman. And she heads for the exit and kind of heads out.
Okay.
While the man kind of stays there, like leans back a little bit, kind of puts his hands out like he's a little ready. But he's kind of like, he kind of sits back like this and then like remembers to like act like he's drinking, basically. So what does Hammer do to this guy?
I don't know. I guess he'll have to tell me. But he'll talk to him. Private Hammer comes up. He's got his hands like thumbs tucked into the waistband of his trousers,
Sure.
and his like heavy boots clomp as he steps over the like the wood floor. He'll take a big deep breath, and he's gonna get this wide like toothy grin on his face and say, "Hello there, pretty boy.
So like
What are you having?"
the guy's like this, and he's like, "What?
What are you having? Maybe I can get you another."
A drink? No, I'm good. I'm fine, sir.
That's Hammer. You can call me Hammer.
All right, Sir Hammer. I'm fine.
Well, what happened to your friend? I saw them get up and leave.
Their shift started. They realized they were running late, and they had to go work here on this cold rock because we
It
can't
is pretty
leave it.
cold out here.
Yep.
You two getting along just fine out here? You don't need any assistance or anything, do you?
From you?
Maybe.
No, I'm good, Sir Hammer. I'm great, Sir Hammer.
All right. Well, what's your name? What do I call you?
You can call me Petre.
Petre?
Sure.
Okay. All right, Peter. Just completely get his name wrong.
Yep.
Listen, just between you and me, I'm here. I'm looking for somebody, a friend of mine. I'm going to
Friend of yours.
Yeah, a friend of mine. We're pretty close, he and I. Might have come around here last night with a group of 3 other his friends. You know anything about that?
Do I know anything about your friends? No.
Private Hammer's going to give a small description. I'm not sure of the details of like who they are, but maybe to help him like jog his memory.
Photos. Yeah, like you could show him the photos if you want. You can just describe the photos. Like you get it across. And he's just like, no, I don't know nothing about your friends. Okay. Why don't you give me, I think, an observation roll. Where is it? Yeah, observation. Why don't you give me an observation roll again? I'm going to give you, oh, well, never mind. I was going to give you some bonus dice for being a looming hammer over him. But you succeeded. He is clearly extremely nervous about something, very much wants you to leave, very much does not like you, and is not telling the truth.
Okay. All right. Can I try to intimidate him a little bit?
Sure.
Hammer is going to say, all right, now listen here. And he's going to like subtly put his hand on the holster of his pistol, and he's just going to like slyly like push back his jacket just to show it off a little bit and say,
okay.
Now it's real important to me that I find this friend of mine. See, he's got something I'm looking for. Now you're going to tell me what you know, or else.
Okay. So back in the security camera room, Fei kind of chipperly says, "Oh, an incident is happening, Chaplain. I should go deal with that. Can you please follow me out of this private security area?" And we'll kind of begin walking, like looking back at you, expecting you to follow. So for Hammer, can you let's have you roll manipulation. And I'm going to give you two. Excuse me. I'm going to give you 2 bonus dice for being.
Do I put 2 in the modifier?
Correct.
All right. Bam.
Yeah.
Oh, do you have 1 empathy normally?
My character sheet, manipulation says 0 on it. Empathy is 1. Yeah.
Okay, great. All right. Wow. Okay, good thing I gave you some bonus dice. So here's what's going to happen.
Okay.
You kind of lean in on this guy, and you're like, I want to know. And you can see like the fear is getting through to him.
Yeah.
Okay. And Feifei's like, an incident is happening. We should go take care of it. And starts to lead you out of the office. And that is when all hell breaks loose.
Oh.
And Petre grabs. So like people are starting to realize something's going on, and they begin to like separate out a little bit. And somebody kind of is walking by from the table behind you, being like, I should leave here before something goes wrong. And Petre uses that opportunity to grab them very quickly and pull a pistol and hold a hostage.
Oh!
So Petre grabs one of the bar patrons, somebody who's not in a cold suit, and is pointing a fairly small Rexham RXF M5 EVA pistol, I guess.
Okay.
I don't believe I have a photo of that to share with you.
Gun, generic small gun.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So they're holding a hostage, and they just kind of sneer at you, and they're like, "Look, Marine, I don't care about you. I don't care about your friends. Just, you can get your ass off this goddamn rock and let the rest of us live in peace."
All right. Hammer whips out his pistol. Like what's what I'm looking for? Like hair trigger reaction or something like that. The moment he sees action, he is like within like milliseconds pulling out his pistol, training it on like his head, and saying,
Are you just using a straight fire?
No. Just aiming. Just aiming. Holding
I
it
just
out.
had this amazing image of him being like, "Okay, Marine, you can get off this plane."
Mission over. This is getting weird.
No, he's like, whoa, easy there, boy. No need to get feisty.
Yeah, and the hostage is like, "Yeah, I mean, just let him go."
Everybody just settle down.
There's definitely chaos in the bar now. Silva, you can see a whole bunch of people rushing out the front. And right about that moment, you're getting a text from, in your group chat, your military group chat. Ms. Juski is like, "Sure is cold back here, Captain." And then like a fire emoji, a fire emoji, a fire emoji. At that point, like the doors burst open and people start kind of running out. Many of them trying to desperately get back into their cold weather gear.
Do they all look like they're kind of like running out of fear, or do they look like they're running with purpose?
Oh, definitely out of fear.
Okay,
Well, the purpose is get the hell out of here.
That's fine. That's fine. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't like, I'm going to go to my like whatever and get a bomb. If it's out of fear, I think she's going to like keep an eye on them, but she's not going to intercede. But what she will do is she will send the group military Snapchat to like watch back door, look for insurgents, and then she is going to go into the front door. She's just gonna like shoulder her way through this like
literally
salmon
as you are texting watch back door for insurgents, you hear gunfire from the back door.
All right, I am going to trust them to know what their job is, even though Iona is an idiot, and I am going to continue to shovel my way through the front door to make sure my people are good.
Great. So, from a metagame element, we are, an hour and a half-ish into the stream. So, I want to find out how, as a group, you want to. And Hammer, I think, has the finger on the trigger to kind of end this scene, as it were.
Pretty literally.
So Silva will enter the bar and get to see how Hammer is going to end this situation.
Okay. Hammer is a master negotiator, so he's just going to try to talk Petrie out of this situation. If he doesn't cooperate, Hammer won't use lethal force.
Won't use lethal force.
Will not.
So this is also right when the gunshots are happening out back, which you can hear inside the bar, and that is going to agitate the Petria as well. So why don't you give me a manipulation roll?
Okay.
And I don't believe you have any bonus dice on this.
Nope.
Because this is kind of a tense situation.
I
Believe
push
in
myself.
you.
So you did you roll once already?
But I will
Okay.
do this, and if it doesn't work, I'll push myself.
Sounds great.
Oof,
Yeah, I didn't think it was gonna. I didn't think it was going to. One die.
Okay. So
A 1 in
mark
6.
off one stress and then roll again.
Let's hit it.
I believe in you.
Bam.
Oh.
Oh,
All right. So let me just double check one thing because I want to make sure when you push yourself.
Yeah, will it tell me if I get a 1 on the stress?
Yeah, you will see a face hugger symbol.
Oh, great.
Oh.
Totally normal.
Great.
Face
So,
huggers.
so I think this is how this scene ends. Hammer, how do you what's your pitch? What's your approach here in your negotiation? You didn't do particularly well.
Sure.
But what were you trying to say? Like, how were you trying to approach it?
Let's all calm down. We can come to some kind of arrangement. Just tell me what you want. We'll let you go. Oh, sorry, not what he wants. Obviously, he wants to leave without getting shot. Or okay. So I'm trying to convince him that he cannot leave. If he tries to, he won't make it out alone. There's people surrounding the building.
Okay.
We've got the cavalry on our
Great.
side.
Yeah. So you say that gunfire erupts behind him at the back door, basically, and he jerks and shoots the hostage.
Ah.
Oh.
So the hostage is dead. He jerks. He turns back and looks at you. What do you do, Hammer? Do you kill him?
Fire.
Great. So he
I don't
shoots
know
the
if I kill
hostage. He
him, but
turns
yeah.
to you. You just kill him.
Okay.
All three of you are seeing this. I would like Silva, Chaplin, and Dante to gain 1 stress.
Oh, my heart.
This doesn't stress me out. I don't know what you're talking about.
And I would like Hammer to gain 2 stress.
All right.
And needless to say, the bar is now empty of people who are useful to talk to. Except maybe the drunk person in the corner who seems to be asleep.
Is the music still bumping?
Oh, yeah. The music is still going.
That's the drunk person with the.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Hold up! Oh Jesus! That did not
It's
turn
not.
out
It's
right.
no. It is definitely not one of the Marines you're looking for.
It's not Reese. I would have
Pretty bad
recognized
if
it
it
from the
was.
pictures. All right. Well, that happened.
Yep. It did.
Were we
So-
supposed to be undercover during this or something?
Yep.
Oh.
Clean it up, boys.
So I think we will kind of fade to black on that scene as Fei says, "Well, this will be difficult to clean up and time consuming." So
and there's a laugh track and cut to commercial. And then
Yeah.
Yep.
I guess-
the aliens sitcom.
Oh, we're gonna get it. Oh, gonna get in trouble.
That
Hey,
reminds
he
me.
was asking for it.
Dante, you feel a little stressed.
Just a little. Yep.
Dante, could you do me a favor and check your journal now? So,
That's not menacing at all.
not at all. The rest of you, as a group, so you regroup. Iona and Mizuski were out back. They did not actually shoot any civilians. It seems like they were firing warning shots in the air, but it certainly did not help. The actual firing inside did not help, and it is chaos everywhere at this point. So, what would you like to do next?
I think.
Have I
So
told
it's-
everyone about the footage? What I found in the video footage?
Yeah, good call.
One thing to remind you about the video footage, I'm not sure that I made clear, just in case. It looks like each AWOL Marine left separately.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Um.
Reese was last. We could probably go to the marshals, try to find Reese.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I think we should head to the marshals. Hammer.
Hmm.
Good job. Good job, son.
Thank you very much, Captain.
I guess while they're doing this exchange, can I like go to that side? Because I just need to get something out. I'll go to that corner where that drunk person was with the papers and just like,
Sure.
can I just scoop some random pieces of paper really quick and then like leave?
You just want to steal her paperwork?
Sure. Yes.
Sure. Great. Yeah. Sure. Fine. Yeah. You steal paperwork. And presuming that you kind of glance at it in your way out, it looks like this is Edie, captain and sole proprietor of the HMS Magpie. And you steal hangar bay costs, you steal repair costs. Like she is way in debt, and her ship is non-functional, and it is not a good time for Edie.
Well, that's sad.
Poor thing.
But the HMS Magpie is in Hangar 2 at the starport. And I want to emphasize it is non-functional.
I am resisting every meta urge to go steal it based on the name.
Yep. When
You know,
I
I
read that,
just-
I was like, well, who's going for this?
You know what I just realized? I have a skill that lets me use my strength instead of empathy when I'm
Oh,
intimidating
no!
people. I totally forgot.
Well, you
No.
still succeeded at intimidating him. You still did
Right.
pretty good.
Yeah.
It is probably worth reminding yourselves what your little talents are, because I think a couple of you have the talent of banter that
Yep.
allows you to kind of like role play through like Marines just being Marines, and try to reduce your stress a little bit.
I do not have that one.
Really,
I think no. Okay, so I feel like it's been such a stressful situation. I'm not feeling too good about this. I guess like if we get
Not
into
feeling too
AV
good.
and we're on the way, are we leaving the bar now?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
it's-
Sylvia's gonna like gather everyone together. And I think specifically she's gonna like go over to Dante and be like, "Hey, get it together. Come on. What are you doing? You've seen this kind of garbage before. Let's go. And- Just take a shot. Let's go. Come on. We got work to do. We got Marines to go get."
Alright.
And then she's going to tell them to like go to the ATV, and then she's gonna go out the back door to go check on those two and make sure like
Yeah,
they
so
didn't kill anybody.
you collect them. You collect them in the back, and like it's what I described. You know, they didn't shoot anybody. They shot a bunch of warning shots. There was utter chaos. You know, people like by the time you get there, people are still probably trying to scrambling away. You know, one or two people may have gotten kind of trampled and bruised.
Yeah.
But they at least didn't shoot at anybody or permanently injure anyone. So it sounds like you're all hopping back on ATVs and heading to the Marshal station.
Yep. And she's gonna hand out everyone's appropriate armor and weapons to them once they get back on.
Do I have a moment to interact with my signature item?
Sure.
All right. I'm going to take
You
out,
try to reduce your stress is what it sounds like.
yeah, I'm going to take out one of my X-Stim syringes and just like, yeah.
I think Sylvia's gonna
so-
politely ignore this while she pulls out her pack of smokes and just like stares into the middle distance and lights a cigarette.
So a couple things. It is worth noting that all of you should have one story point that you can mark off on your character sheet. You can spend that to get one automatic success on a roll, or you can also spend it after. And you can also spend it if you need to get more successes for whatever reason. Let me just double check your stress. There we go. Stress and panic. relieving stress. So for every like 5 or 10 minutes that you spend in an area that you believe is safe, you can reduce your stress level by 1 point. Further, once per act, you can interact with your signature item to reduce your stress level by 1 as well. So you can certainly, take the moment where you go back to the ATV. Silva is letting everybody else gear up. They're putting their uniforms and armor back on. They're getting their big guns again. You can stim up, but that's your one use for this act.
Okay.
So just keep that in mind.
Sure.
Silva, you do the same thing with your cigarette?
I think I'm gonna wait actually to save mine.
Okay.
I mean, I'm still chain smoking, but it's not
Sure.
it's not relieved chain smoking. I'm not savoring the delicious taste of tobacco.
Sure. Javion, I know we said you should turn off all the lights and be spooky.
Yeah,
but
I was about to say,
feel
like,
we
I tried
actually
to turn
might
the
need
brightness
some
up on
lights
my
now.
computer, but it didn't work. I'll be right back.
It's okay.
Mm.
So
I think-
you are gonna go ahead.
And I'm just gonna have a conversation with Chaplin while I kind of feel safe enough in the ATV. Just
That's better.
kind of
Are
talking.
you driving the ATV, by the way? Are you the person who's driving?
So does everybody here know what ATVs are?
Yeah, we can each get our own.
They're not
Oh.
enclosed. These are like 4x4s.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're not hanging out together. We're all just like road warriors right now going.
Yeah, I think you're thinking of an APC, which is also a very fun acronym that you get to marine it up in.
Okay, I was thinking that of the
So, like,
four-seater.
think of this as like a futuristic industrial bike share. Is what
Can we
you're
still-
using.
So is it one person per vehicle then?
Mm-hmm. Unless somebody
Okay.
wants to like hang out on the back and wheel the rocket launcher and go play that
Yeah.
weird variant of Halo.
Can we just ride next to each other and then like yell back and forth to try to?
Yeah,
have a
absolutely.
conversation?
Golf
You
carts.
probably you have headsets. You can radio each other with bass listening in and all that.
Oh, with
Okay.
base. Never mind. No.
Well, we've
Okay.
already established that Dante does not usually remember that. the
Yeah,
people
I don't
should-
know. Whatever. It's cool. I'm talking to people. Everybody. They actually. I'm well known for just being like a blabbermouth. Just keep on talking and talking. Always forgetting to turn off my command chat. Be like, hey man, did you see that girl?
So as you guys are kind of gathering back up, Ms. Juski looks at Silva and is like, "What the hell happened in there, Captain? People came storming out. It was chaos everywhere."
What do you think happened? They saw one boy in a uniform and they went berserko. Let's get back to work.
So Mizuski just seems happy to get his flamethrower back, I think.
Yeah, you guys find Laura back. I give him a conciliatory pat on the shoulder.
Great. So you are heading to the Marshal Station now?
Yeah.
All right. So you should now be on the Marshal Station map. Do you have that? You see that?
Yep.
Yes, mother.
Okay. So you are you heading in full weapons, full armor?
Someplace where it's comfortable for the military, I'm assuming, and it's not unusual for there to be military personnel. So I'd say yeah.
Yeah. What's our jurisdiction here relative to the marshals?
I mean, little unclear. You probably outrank them in most cases. Like, this is certainly a military town, so they're unlikely to rock the boat. They are certainly part of the authority, so that's unlikely to change a whole lot of things either. Or they're unlikely to challenge you, I guess, is the way to look at it.
Okay.
So you all kind of march in, and the first thing that you notice is the receptionist is a young man, kind of pleasant looking, easy on the eyes, I guess, as it were, but is extremely frazzled. You see that there's like a phone here, there's a blinking phone on the table, and like they kind of look up and see you walking in with like full military gear, and they just kind of like drop some of the phones and just shout back they just shout out "Hyams," and they kind of go back to all the calls, and you hear them being like, you see maybe like a tally sheet of looting and violence kind of reports. Like there just seems to be a ton going on. But you hear him saying, like, monsters, sir? No. I'm sorry. Yep. Yeah. Yes, we will be right there to check out the monsters and make sure that everything is fine. And hangs up and kind of moves on to the next call. So you are greeted by an elderly, early 60s man, kind of stepping forward, sizing you up and down, seeing you loaded for bear, clearly seems to reach the conclusion of, well, this is going to be a long night. Soldiers, what can we help you with? It's kind of a busy night tonight.
Yeah, it's a busy night for us too, so let's make this quick, huh?
Sounds great.
Last night, it looks like one of our boys was picked up by you. I want to know where he is. His name's Reese.
Okay. Let's see here.
What's this guy's name?
Hyams, as far as you can tell. You're not sure.
Don't like him.
You don't like him?
Oh, it says so on my character sheet.
That's a good reason.
It's my rival.
Straight up, just like stink eye.
He just gives me his. I come in and I do a quick, vibe scan on him. My model has that feature, and I can just tell he's one of those guys.
I just imagine your HUD has a little image over him, and then it's like processing, beep beep, not a vibe.
Not a
Processing.
vibe.
Not a vibe.
Processing vibe.
Okay. So as you can kind of see from the map, you're in the bullpen area.
Yeah.
So it's pretty open. You can see that comms has a lot of there are a lot of computer screens. There's a lot of security monitors and stuff like that in there. You can tell that it seems like a lot of these cameras are hooked up kind of all around the base or the settlement. And it looks like the light is indicating that somebody is in the interrogation room, but you can't see in there.
Is there like a camera feed at that desk?
It's kind of hard to tell from your angle. It's hard to tell while being subtle from that angle, is what I would say.
Mm.
So Hyams kind of looks at you and is like, yeah, I mean, they picked up somebody late last night. He's sleeping it off in the holding cells if you want to go see if that's your man.
Yeah, I think I do. Dante, why don't you go check and make sure if that's Reese or not? I'm going to stay back here and see if they have any other information for us.
All right, Captain.
Okay.
I'll just go ahead, do my.
All right. So Hyams is like, deputy, open the doors. And so Dante is going to go check.
Yep.
Great.
I don't like that smile. Put that away, Derek.
It is my most effective weapon. So if you actually I think I can drag you.
Oh,
Don't drag anywhere. What? No.
I
Drag.
think that I set these up properly. So I can drag Dante.
Oh,
yeah, there we go.
yeah.
I gave Dante a little token.
hey, I'm a token.
With roll 20.
I'm going to put Dante here. For the sake of my sanity, I'm going to assume that you put Iona, Mizjuski, and Mason outside.
Yeah, I left them with the ATVs.
That sound reasonable to you?
I left them with our zip cars.
Okay. So then Chaplain. Let's say Chaplain is here. And Private Hammer will be here.
That's such a great character name. I think you went out on this because that is
Yeah.
like the
Still
best
strong.
character name in this whole module.
So I tried to pick icon or tokens that were reasonably distinct. If anybody dislikes their token for whatever reason, let me know. So, Dante, the first thing that you
cell?
notice
Yeah.
are these cells. This whole kind of L-shaped corridor is unfortunately very dimly lit. Cells 1, 2, and 3 appear to be empty. From here, it looks like somebody is laying on the bed facing the wall in cell 4, and you can't see any further.
All right. Well, I mean, there's nothing to be suspicious about, so I just
Don't
you
be
know.
suspicious. Don't
Don't
be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
Is it like the lights are blinking or some of the lights are out? If I look up, it's just very dim.
If you look up,
Yeah. Just because like it's dark, I might as well just like. Why is it dark? Is the light bulb out?
so when you look up, the light is out, and then it flicks on, and you see a slimy 2-meter long bloated hammock suspended by resin webbing. And as you look up, a little droplet of goo comes down off the ceiling and splatters on your shoulder.
What the? I'll go ahead and say that.
So,
What the?
why don't I increase your stress level by 1?
Yeah.
It's very
Do
stressful.
it. Oh, my heart! It just really hurts, man.
I fear
Doesn't it,
for
though?
you.
Actually, yeah, there is a very sharp and distinct noticeable pain in your chest.
Oh,
What the?
Be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. So, while I think actually that's probably the moment where the door for the holding closes. Because you're in there, and the deputy who opened it kind of turns back to the rest of you, and Himes is like, "So, what are you looking for this man for? If I'm permitted to ask."
you are not permitted to ask.
Okay, then it's going to be one of those. All right, I don't need to know.
Do you have the interrogation room tonight, sir?
You do you?
I would like
Great.
to know.
You do. Would you like use of the interrogation room tonight, sir?
It depends on who you have in it, so why don't you let me know?
So he kind of is like deputy, like he kind of points at somebody else and is like, get Stolas out of there. Put him in one of the holding cells for now. So right about when Dante is looking up for this, like the police or the marshals are like, sir, we're right in the middle, and he's like, Himes is like, get him out now. You can pick it up later. And they bring out what looks to be like another colonist. And the first things you hear as the doors open up is like this voice being like, "Come on, like, can I get some water? Like, that I got this heartburn. You got any like antacids or something? Like, it's my chest is hurting. There's like, I need a drink of water. Can I please get something at least?" And it looks like they're leading. It just looks like a colonist, kind of out of the interrogation room.
We don't recognize this person.
No, it's not one of the Marines.
Would I have like any familiarity of like, is he wearing like any insurgent insignia or something like that?
Why don't you make an observation roll for me?
Oh, this is gonna go bad. Let's get spicy on this.
Make sure you check your talents. Don't
Oh,
be
my
like
talents
me.
are useless. I'm all brute. Oh, hey. Well, guess what? Nothing.
You want to push that roll?
Yeah, sure. I'll push it. Do I just roll again with the second level of stress, right?
Mhm.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, like technically you'd be re-rolling all of all the dice that didn't succeed, and that's where you would just use modifiers to decrease your die pool if you needed to.
Okay.
Hey, you got a success. So, like the briefing mentions that a lot of the insurgents they tend to wear like earrings that kind of indicate their membership in the gang, or their affiliation, I guess. And he's got a couple of them. So like, it's not a guarantee, but it's pretty close.
Okay. I think I'm gonna look and like I assuming I'm just seeing the earring through the door, like when it opens and shuts again. I like squint and I'm like, I think I'm gonna talk to that fella you have in there. Hammer,
Okay,
you're in
well,
charge.
For a moment, or before you do that, oh wow, putting Hammer in charge.
Yeah.
He's my bud.
Why
Dante,
not?
are you gonna do that?
I'm assuming there's safety precautions because I wasn't expecting anything. So I'm just going to say no because safety precautions.
Okay.
But for future reference, remind me to roll another d6.
I feel like as a counter, I feel like that would be a good dramatic moment to key everyone else and take a brief break so we can let everyone take a bio break and do the giveaway.
Ooh,
Yeah.
giveaway.
You want to do it that way?
Give away.
All right.
Give
So,
away.
does that sound good, Bonsai?
Ooh, yes.
Okay. So right as you're telling Hyams, we're going to talk to that guy. There is a shot fired in the holding areas, and you see Dante looking up, shooting, and then something pouring down, and a whole bunch of like acidic smoke rise up. And at that dramatic moment, we will take a break, probably about 10 minutes or so, as people take bio breaks, and we will have a giveaway in chat. For a Roll20 code to get the adventure modules that we are using to play.
Awesome.
Yeah.
The keyword is Sir Hammer in chat.
Sir Hammer.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, instructions will be in chat as to how to participate in the giveaway. I believe you need to say the keyword, and then Nightbot will randomly select somebody.
I'm so excited
and
that
we
it's
will
Sir
be back
Hammer.
in a few minutes.
Awesome.
Hello again. Thank you for sticking around, everybody. I hope you took a bio break as we return at a climactic moment. We had a giveaway while we were away, and Animated Architecture won a code on Roll20 to be able to play through this terrifying scenario with their friends. I think the code also includes the Alien Starter Kit that has Chariot of the Gods, which is the adventure that we ran earlier in the year. I think there's a link in chat for it. Free League has a few other kind of modules in there, so you can buy them separately or together. And I have been very intrigued by kind of the implementation. I mean, actually, do we want to take a moment? And each of you, do you want to? Because I don't think that all of you have a ton of experience with Roll20. But how have each of you found the kind of implementation of the module here?
Oh, it's been awesome. So from from my experience, I've been a player on Roll20 before, but every time I've run a Roll20 game, it's been homebrewed. So I haven't had all of the built-in extras that are in here, like the built-in maps, the built-in character sheet stuff, which I deeply love.
Character sheet's nice.
It's so for me, who I've never played Alien before, and I got like 15 minutes of prep before we entered into this game. It has been fairly intuitive because of how Roll20 uses this character sheet that Free League has built in. It has not been difficult for me to jump into this. I'm really looking forward to actually playing around with it more now that I've done it because I love aliens. And I think it's pretty good. I'm also excited about like all the maps that they've added in because like visuals on Roll20 are such a big deal. And the visuals that they provided are super cool.
Which is reminding me that I am now adding the locations you have been to so far to your journals.
Sweet.
So a map for Ariarchus, a map for Oblivion, and the maps for Fort Nebraska. I'm slowly in the marshalling station I'm adding in. So you should now see those in your journals.
That's another cool part of Roll20 is that like I forget every piece of character information on the planet. Like my memory as a human being is awful. So the character journal stuff is really helpful.
Yeah, you should be able to make your own notes, and I can also give you permission to edit things if you need to. So keep that in mind too.
Yeah, it's just clean. It's nice and clean. I don't have to worry about much. It does the rolling for myself. You know, clean. I like it.
Which reminds me,
Are you also bad at math, Bonsai? Because I'm terrible at math.
Yeah, I'm the wrong side of sort of Asian. It doesn't work for me.
Oh.
No, I'm just joking. I'm joking. I like telling that to people. I'm like, not the right Asian. No, but yeah, no, I'm horrible at math. And this is crazy because I am a woodworker and I have to use it a lot, but it's just adding numbers and shapes and hopefully
Yeah.
it works
Like the
out.
reason I avoided D&D for so long was because I was afraid of math. And so like roll 20 makes this stuff a lot less intimidating for me.
Oh yeah. No ban.
Ban banzai.
No.
Yeah, my calculator is in the office, so I haven't had it since
Our poor abandoned office.
February. I have an orange calculator. It's very useful, and yeah. So thank you, Roll20, because otherwise, I'm lost without my calculator.
All right, I am just populating some other people around this area.
Well,
That's fine. I'm
population.
restocking my candy cigarettes. As an update to chat, I have been now through 3 packs of candy cigarettes. And it occurred to me while we were on the break that I haven't eaten anything today. So I am going to perish after this.
Hyped up on sugar.
As
Hire a new community manager.
As a house rule, you could do everyone fasts until the beginning of the game, and then for each stress dice you get, you have to have like a teaspoon of sugar.
Oh my
And
gosh.
Eat a whole
tablespoon of
pack of
sugar.
Oh my
candy
gosh.
cigarettes.
And then you just
Yeah, Derek, actually, I was gonna say you can put our names in like nameplates underneath our tokens.
Yep.
You can click a show nameplate so that everybody can see it.
Yeah, the problem is that I associated tokens with all of you, but it doesn't seem to properly save all of that. So give me a moment.
Fine. Oh, thank you to Opie Bella in our chat has been taking clips of us this whole time. So she actually grabbed some really great clips of us already, including Chaplin's Great High Five and Stinky Beltman. She grabbed a clip of that as well. So I will distribute those out later. So if anyone else has wonderful clips of this they would like to share, I am happy to take them and put them on our social media because they make me laugh.
Share the clips, all the clips.
So, who
That's
are you
me.
moving?
It's
Who's
I'm
that
Hammer.
person moving?
I clicked it. I dragged my token up. You can just delete it. I was just seeing if it worked.
Oh, I see.
Oh, cool. I can move that too.
I am deleting the twin that we have there. And let me go grab another token that should be meaningful right now.
I know, I'm afraid of your meaning.
I do not vibe with all the tokens.
Do not vibe with the aliens.
Not a vibe.
Not a vibe. I don't like that vibe.
Okay,
Derek,
it's
put
shrunk.
that vibe back.
That's big.
Oh, that's a nice. No,
No,
nice.
Derek,
that's
no,
right there.
put the vibe
Nice.
back.
I should have not have looked up. I knew it. I was like, oh yeah, lights are on. Maybe I should look because automatically you do that. Just
Yep.
shouldn't have looked up. Shouldn't have looked up. Should have known.
If only you hadn't looked at the monster, it wouldn't have been there.
It's like a
Yeah.
it's like a T-Rex.
If I didn't look at it, it would have been fine.
Exactly.
So, the one element that I was not able to get working in my testing earlier is the normal initiative system for Alien, where you have a deck of cards and you all draw a card from the deck of cards. So I'm going to just run it a little bit fast and loose here. Okay.
Mhm.
So I think initiative order is going to kind of go in order of who is doing something like immediately engaged in the situation, who is going to take a range attack against the situation, and then who is going to then go like up and do a melee attack or something like that. So let's start off with Dante. So you shoot up in the air. There is a squeal, an inhuman scream. Everybody's kind of teeth go on edge. The hair on all your arms maybe rises up. People start to look in that direction. But you mainly just see kind of this, something like goo fall down. And then there's all this acid smoke that obscures everything. Dante, it smells horrible and acrid. And this, actually, I can share this with you too. and that drops
Oh.
from the ceiling
Oh.
next to you.
Oh my gosh.
So
okay.
this long black creature with distended limbs, an elongated head, metal teeth, kind of drops out of this cocoon from the ceiling. You shot a bunch of bullets into it, and there were spurts of acid that seemed to fly out and speckle the wall and kind of drip around the floor around you, causing all the smoke to rise up. So the rest of you don't get a clear shot of this. You can decide yourselves kind of how much your character really sees of the situation. Like Chaplin, for example, probably has a really bad angle on this. But all of you probably get 1 stress.
Yep.
Dante, I think you probably want to get 2 stress.
Yes. Oh, good job. Sexy stress. Also, do you want me to roll? Because every time I get new stress, it's just in general. So for the GM's knowledge, I have a 1 in 6 chance of firing my weapon.
Sure.
That is yep. So every time I increase stress, there is a 1 in 6 chance of involuntary discharge of my weapon.
Okay.
So
why don't you roll a die?
That's not
All
So
right.
if you look at the top middle of your sheet, there should be like just a section for roll buttons. Click the 1d6 button.
All right.
Okay. Sounds like you're okay.
Oh, okay. Whew.
All right. So you did hit it previously.
Yes.
So, you get stressed out. You kind of just fire off a few more rounds. There's a few more reports of a rifle or a pistol in there. And through the acidic smoke kind of rising around you, through the stench, Dante, this creature kind of rises up and looms towards you.
Oh my God, my chest. If it's doing that, I'm trying to like back and then my sorry.
Well, I mean, before you even kind of like, so this is like its action basically. You can definitely feel a strong pain in your chest, and it kind of leans forward and hisses, and then backs up, and scuttles back up into the ceiling. So, Dante, what would you like to do?
I am going out of this area right here and just like cussing, like what was that? Oh my! And then as soon as I get out of the door, I'm just like
So if you remember, the door closed behind you.
Oh, can it not open? Is it?
It
can I open it?
It just hasn't yet. Here, I'm going to try to see if I can hide this token from. Did the token disappear?
Yeah,
It did.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great. So this is something that you as the players can't see. That's also very interesting and very useful for Alien, because the aliens stalk you, and that there's a lot of kind of rules for that in the game. Is I can put them on the map and have them be invisible to you. There's some advanced rules. These all have dynamic lighting and stuff like that. So I believe all these maps would allow me to set up the dynamic lighting and allow you to kind of get fog of war and stuff like that too. But I'm not experienced enough with Roll20 to leverage all those right now.
Speaking from personal experience, dynamic lighting is so scary.
It super is. Like, I used dynamic writing in a Roll20 campaign, and it made me want to die inside.
Very nice.
Great. So I can move it, and I know where it is now.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, great.
Actually, no, I do want to know, but I don't.
With my free hand, can I pound on the door to tell them to open up now?
Yeah, absolutely.
Open the door.
Dante runs back to the door and is pounding on the door to open it up. And the deputy who's by the door just kind of seems like in shock for the moment. It seems to have stepped away from the controls. Does anybody else want to jump in?
Yup.
I do.
Yeah. Why don't you go, Hammer? Why don't you go?
Dante is my buddy, my pal. So instead of acting rationally and probably trying to get like the door open the right way, he's going to rush over. And what does he see immediately?
You said you're trying to get the door open the right way, or you are just rushing open?
He rushes to the actual door instead of trying to get the person who can open the door to open it.
So it's just a couple simple bars. It's stronger than hammer is, certainly.
No.
But as long as somebody with the appropriate permissions opens it, shouldn't be a problem.
I think
But yeah,
while
so you
Hammer
rush
is
to
doing
you
that,
just kind of like start pulling on the metal door, and your buddy Dante is stuck on the other side, and through the bars, kind of like through the, you can see something like it's like somebody sprinkled a bunch of acid along the wall and the floor, and you can still smell the really sharp, acrid scent of like acid on concrete, and there's a bunch of like organic goo everywhere.
So I think while he is trying to manhandle the door, I am going to just shove aside this like idiot secretary who's at the desk and just be like, get out of my way, and like look for like the appropriate hilariously red button that opens the holding cell door. Okay. To smack it open to open it, and just be like, get my Marine out of there. Boop.
Great.
Instead of actually just like yanking on bars ineffectually, I'm gonna be looking. I'm trying to understand the situation, looking past Dante.
Sure. Sure. So why don't you give me an observation roll?
Okay.
And the Silva hits the kind of trigger to open the bars. They fly open. Hammer, I assume at that moment you will.
Oh no!
I was about to say you will help Dante, but that seems to not be the case. So you have rolled a 1 on a stress die. So that means a couple things. First, you cannot push this roll. Okay. So if it ever comes up before or later, you cannot push it. I believe you might actually automatically fail it. So you are now going to roll for panic.
Yep.
Oh.
So roll a d6.
Are we still in Act 1?
We are.
Okay. I clicked panic.
Oh, hachi machi.
Did it do it automatically for you even?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Look at that. Okay.
It's nice.
So if we didn't have Roll20 here to do it for us, you'd roll a d6 and you would add your current panic level to that number. A panic of 5 allows you to keep it together. So you're barely holding your nerves in check. So I guess maybe my question to you is, Javion, as a player, what did Hammer see that almost pushed Hammer over the edge?
Some of that goo is actually on Dante's reaction and how frantic Dante is being. Okay. Because he cares so much about Dante.
Great. And so you probably also noticed Dante is holding her chest in some sort of pain. So you so you see
hold
that
on, Dante. Hold on. We're gonna get you out of there.
You pull Dante out. You just barely manage to hold it together. You don't make the situation any worse with your freak out. So you are kind of back in the, let's say that you pull back to here. You are back in the bullpen. And the Hyams is shouting, what the hell was that? What the hell's going on in there? Well, most of the rest of the marshals are just kind of shocked by the situation. And the insurgent that they were holding just starts saying, like, really, can I just get something? I don't care what the hell else is going on. So,
oh no,
what would you like to do?
Who are you asking?
Anybody.
Okay.
We're not strictly an initiative anymore now.
Okay.
You've gotten out of the immediate danger.
I need my palpitations. I have a medical. Oh my god.
Hammer, get them out of there. Get them out of there now.
All right.
No, there's something in there, Captain.
Then we'll take care of it. You can't do anything.
So close.
Captain, right. There's something. It's I don't even know.
Chaplain, are you just kind of hanging back watching all this?
Yeah. Well, let's see. I've got some pretty good medical stuff. So as soon as the doors open and I hear that, then I rush forward with my med kit and my surgical kit.
All right. I think as Chaplain rather is going to take care of Dante, I turn to hammer, and I'm like, let's go figure out what exactly happened in there. And I take my gun and I cock it.
Okay, so Silva and Hammer are going to go back into the holding area. Correct?
Click.
Okay, and Chaplain is going to examine Dante. Okay.
Roll
Chaplain, why don't you give me a medicine roll?
Okay. Medical aid.
Sure. Give yourself 1 bonus die.
Sweet.
I never.
Oh.
Oh,
You
I
already
mean,
rolled it.
you got it. Wow, you have so many die for that.
I'm very good.
Wow.
I'm
You're
very
the
good at
best android
medicine.
we've ever had.
Oh.
Okay. So, Chaplain, do you know what you expect to find in the situation?
I do, but I don't let on that I do.
Okay. You do find evidence of it.
Okay.
You have confirmed the situation.
Okay. I use my android speed to move very quickly to perform an emergency surgical procedure.
So before you go there, that would be wiser to perform in the hospital, I think. I don't know if you have the material with you here to perform that immediate surgery.
Okay. Am I able to sedate Dante?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I'll do that, and I'll sedate Dante.
Okay.
Do I roll for that?
No, that's fine.
Okay.
Do you want to inform your captain that Dante is in need of serious medical assistance and should be taken to the hospital post haste?
That's exactly what it's uncanny. It's actually exactly what I was going to say.
Okay. So, the Hyams will come over and open the holding cell, the holding area door for you, and Silva and Hammer will go in, and the holding door will close behind you. How are you handling this? How are you going to proceed?
I think
You in front? Is Hammer in front?
Yeah. I think Silva would take point.
Okay.
And I am assuming that these like rifles have like one of those like little flashlight spotlights on them. So as I'm like aiming, I can like.
Yep. Yeah. I mean,
So-
like the area here is very dim. It's not
Yeah.
completely dark. It's dim. It's flickering a little bit. But whatever incident happened in here certainly shattered a bunch of the lights.
Turn on my shoulder lamp.
Sure,
Yeah,
sure,
shoulder
absolutely.
lamp. So I think I am going to like remain totally on the alert and then like take my rifle and then use it to like look around because obviously something happened to Dante in there.
Sure.
So I'm going to be looking for signs of some kind of fight or some kind of something to see whatever the hell this is
So
that Dante
you
just
step
saw.
in and you can see where Dante was standing.
Yep.
Those acid burns
Yep.
are still kind of like going. They're like.
So I'm gonna probably like lift my light up to the ceiling then if those are still dropping.
So it's not that they're still dropping; it's that the acid is just kind of like the divots, the little like, where the acid would have hit is still kind of like going down a little bit.
Sure. But it would imply that something was falling. I'm assuming. Okay.
Yep. And you look up. There's still little bits of goo that is dripping down, like a greenish kind of resiny goo. Some of it seems to have hardened and shattered. Most of it is loose and kind of sticky.
Mm-hmm.
You look up and there's a cocoon type thing up above you. Seems like it's empty. It's about humanoid size or about human size. Maybe a little small, like maybe old child, short human kind of thing.
Okay.
Something was in there. Looks like it was opened relatively recently, but you're not a xenobiologist. You don't know.
No, I'm absolutely
Still
not.
wet, if that helps.
Is the door still open behind me? Or
No.
did it shut behind me?
Nope, it closed.
Okay. All right, so I'm gonna turn, look over. Like,
Hyams is at least by the button. Like.
Okay. So I think I'm gonna like turn and not like half look over my shoulder so I can still see the majority of the room and look at Hammer and be like, text the squad, let them know to come inside. We got a problem.
All right. I type into my risk communicator.
Okay. So you want Mason and Iana
Not Mason.
Not Mason?
Not Mason. I don't. I make it clear Mason is not to enter. He's to stand watch.
Okay, so you want Ms. Juski and Iona to come in?
Yes.
Spicy.
Okay. Let me grab more tokens.
Spicy.
There a breakup recently? I wonder. No, just
Oh
joking.
yeah. Did you guys have a thing? Did you have a fling?
Act
No,
2
that's
is a
private
flash.
business.
Act 2 is a flashback, and it's just about the
Act 2
previous
is just
day.
aliens the romance.
Yeah.
I just want to smooch the aliens.
That's a whole different game.
That's
Oh,
Mass
God.
Effect.
That is Mass Effect.
That
That's
is
why I
Mass
loved Mass Effect so much. Let's be real.
That's a big token.
It is. Let me fix it.
That's a big spicy boy.
All right. So it sounds like you are then going to move in a little bit.
Yeah. Hold on.
Correct?
Let me
Yeah, let's keep going.
All right. So the two of here. I'm gonna. Okay. I will then move. They will just move in behind you.
Yeah, if you ever want to move me, Derek, feel free.
Okay. So in room 4, you can see that there is somebody who's still laying, facing the wall. They don't seem to have moved.
I am gonna head in that direction. And while I'm doing that, like as soon as I get to that corner wall, like give the signal for Hammer to look in that direction to make sure we aren't being caught off guard.
I take a look.
Which direction is
So I'm gonna have ask Hammer to look towards my right. To
Okay,
remember
so
it's that holding
Hammer's
line.
looking in around the corner. Got it.
Yeah, so I'm looking straight ahead, and then Hammer's gonna go around the corner.
Okay.
I've watched a lot of Law and Order SVU.
Aye. Take a look around the corner.
Great. So you look around the corner, and you don't see anything down there. It looks like cells 5 and 6 are open. Cell 4, it looks like someone is sleeping, facing the wall. Would you like to go in and examine their body?
I give the silent gesture all clear down this hallway.
Is the door to cell 4 open?
You could probably shout back and have Hyams open it.
That's what I'm gonna look in and see and make sure. Like, I'm actually okay. So the first, is it just bars?
Mhm.
Okay, so I'm gonna actually look around first and see if there's any weirdo slime everywhere, like there is any place else.
In cell 4?
Yeah. Weirdo slime being the technical term.
There is not. If you kind of look around, it seems like there are some tendrils that go from the ceiling right up, leading to cell 4, but it heads back to the kind of cocoon or hammock that you saw previously.
All right. So my
and
priority.
just to be clear, unless you explicitly say that you're looking in something or in a direction, I'm assuming you are not.
Yep, makes sense. So looking around that cell, especially towards the ceiling and not seeing anything, I am gonna look back over my shoulder at Hammer and be like, my priority is to make sure this mission gets done, but there's obviously a problem here. Keep your eyes peeled. I'm gonna go check on this, and I'm gonna signal Chaim to go open the cell and then step inside.
Cool.
Great. So as you kind of come closer, just before you step inside, the first thing that you notice is that the floor is covered in dried blood.
Oh. Oops.
The next thing that you notice when you look more carefully at the body is that it has no fingers and no face because they have been chewed off, and the ribs in the chest are all pointed outward, like something burst out of it. And it is extremely, extremely dead.
So to clarify again, you said he had no face?
Yeah, his face was chewed off, yes.
Okay, so I am going to continue to step inside to see if I can find a dog tag to make sure this was Reese.
100% it's Reese.
Great. Cool. It's Reese. And so I take the dog tags or whatever equivalent that is, and I kind of just like lift them up, and then I look back at Hammer, and I'm like, "This is our boy."
That's the moment where the Hammer. I'm going to have them kind of come up behind you here.
Okay.
Hammer, you see a shape at the end of the hallway kind of flick past your light, you're pretty sure.
I gave a silent gesture. I've got movement.
Okay. Well, then I'm going to let it take the opportunity.
Yeah, I just like let everybody know there's movement.
Sure. Give me 1 second.
I'm nervous.
Oh God. Carry my corpse, please. Carry my corpse.
No, I'm not carrying your corpse. Your corpse is bad.
No, you don't.
I don't trust your corpse.
I just have a medical condition.
So you kind of make the motion, Hammer, that you have, like, you're like, I've got motion. And like literally at that moment, this like leopard-like form just leaps out of the shadows onto you.
Oh God.
I'm going to roll 10 dice.
That's too many. No, Derek, that's too many die.
You're lucky that I only got 1 success.
Wow.
Wow.
I feel lucky. Okay, it's happening.
Okay, so this thing is leaping at you. You have armor on. If you look at your character sheet, I think you have 6 armor. Is that right?
Yep.
It is going to do 2 damage to you.
Okay.
If you're going to roll those 6 dice for your armor, there might be a button for you to kind of click and roll it. If you reduce that armor, if you reduce that damage, it's not going to be able to grab you.
I believe in you.
So I just click armor.
I think so.
Yeah.
Let's find out.
Modifier 0.
Ooh.
Hey, look at that.
All right.
Check.
Yeah, that's exactly what you needed. So what happens is out of the shadows leaps this alien form. Here, I can bring up the image again, just in case we all forgot what it looks like.
Forget.
It leaps out at you, scrambles at you. It's not able to get through your armor. I will give you 1 stress for having seen it. And I'm going to give 1 stress to Silva for having seen this kind of leap past you.
A lot of stress.
So when it leaps onto you, Hammer, and scrambles at you, these claws going everywhere, these metal teeth on this long, smooth black head open up, smaller teeth kind of, and another jaw comes out and kind of clacks at you. What do you do as it tries to grab you but isn't able to get a hold of you?
Okay. Do I still take damage?
You do not, because your armor prevented those 2 damage.
All right.
So like basically, like, are you, do you fire at all? Do you back up?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
What is your reaction? How do you get out of that? How do you not get dragged into the darkness and killed, I guess?
I fire my weapon.
Okay, great. And you have the smart gun out. Was that right?
Yep.
Okay. So there is the kind of classic Marines, like brr, 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 of the smart gun firing. Everybody in the bullpen can hear this. All of the deputies kind of just like totally duck under their tables. Hyams like ducks out of the way, but still stays by the button. Dante, your eyes kind of roll around in your head as you are clearly sedated. Chaplain, if you're going to do anything remarkable, let me know. That's fine. And
Nothing remarkable
okay.
at this time.
So, Silva, what would you like to do? The door to your cell is, you could swing it closed if you wanted to.
Absolutely not. I'm going to make sure that.
Just giving you the option.
So I am going
So this
to.
thing leapt out, slashed at Hammer, and then like scuttles backwards. And you can like, this tail is almost kind of whipping like a metal cable in a storm.
Cool. So it's down that hallway, right? It's not on top of Hammer.
Nope.
Okay, cool. I am going to come out, tuck the dog tags like in like off my belt or something.
Sure.
Then I am going to take my grenade because I have those, and I'm going to like take the pin out with my
Sure.
teeth, toss it down the hall, and tell everyone like go.
Okay.
Oh,
Nice.
I think you actually can roll attack for your grenade.
Captain, my captain, good job.
My captain loves grenades. Yeah, let me bring up my grenade button because I have a grenade button. Weirdly enough.
did I miss?
No, so you haven't taken your turn yet. Your
Mm.
firing was it leaping on you, basically.
Gotcha.
I was just trying to
Oh.
figure out how you were like. It's one of those things of describing how you managed to kind of
Gotcha.
escape the moment, as opposed to what is your action.
Thank you.
I want you involved in your own doom.
That's so many spicy successes. Ooh.
Oh wow, look at that! Apparently, the stress is helping you out there.
Beautiful toss.
it's like right out of like it's like football. Like woo.
All right, let me.
This is such a cool system. I love how I have separate buttons for like all of my weapons too. This is sick.
It's nice.
And then I jam a cigarette in my mouth.
Yeah, I think
Get that
that
shit.
there were other rules for that, but
These are unfortunately mint tasting.
okay. So there is an explosion down that hallway. Let's see here. So Silva's there. I think Hammer is totally exposed to this.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
Hammer, why don't you roll? I mean, give me a moment. I'm trying to figure out how to narratively determine who gets splattered with acid blood.
Acid blood.
Great. Why don't the two, Hammer and Silva, why don't both of you give me a mobility roll? Okay, it's the skill to the left of agility. Silva, I'm going to give you
Oh, I already rolled.
3 bonus dice to that.
Okay. I mean, I had a success anyway, so.
Great. Okay. Well, a lot of times I might give you bonus dice if I feel like something's easier because you were in the cell. You could duck back in and take cover pretty quickly. So I was going to give you bonus dice. So, you might always want to wait to roll until I let you know whether you have a bonus or penalty.
That's my bad. I'm very excited alien right now.
That's fine. So you like roll the grenade out and immediately kind of take cover. Do you kind of roll against the wall, or do you like totally go super grotesque and flip the bed over and take cover behind the bed?
Grotesque as possible. Like she's you know what? Let me correct myself. If I am, she wants to remain as close to the squad as possible to make sure she's protecting them.
Okay.
So she is going to duck out of the way to make sure she is not harmed, but remain in eyesight at all time.
Okay, great. And what about you, Hammer?
Well, you haven't told me if I get any modifiers or not.
You do not, because you were out in the open.
Hiya!
Hammer time over. Ooh, a 1 and a success. How does that play out?
Well, so you don't get spattered in acid,
Okay.
but can you make a panic roll again for me?
I sure can.
I don't
Also,
like panic roll.
I have a thing for this. Overkill.
Oh yeah.
It says I can trigger the overkill effect when I make a panic roll because I turn my fear into aggression.
Nice.
Great.
I just don't know how to do that because when I click panic, it just does panic.
Let me look up what your. So you have overkill, is what you said, right?
Yes. So I could trigger the overkill effect.
Mm-hmm. The overkill effect is a result you can get on the panic table.
Oh,
So let me pull the panic table up.
nice.
Stress and panic. Panic roll. Oh. I thought it was an effect.
I thought it was too. I was reading through it earlier.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm not going to. There we go. I see where it is. the overkill talent. Okay.
Okay.
So basically, you immediately attack your enemies, and you won't stop until all of them are dead.
Wow. All of them.
Oh.
Also, all other PCs in short range of you must make a panic roll.
Oh, okay.
So, Silva, can you make a panic roll for me?
I can. I don't know if that's good or not. Tell me, please.
A 7.
Mother, help.
Mother, help me, mother.
So a 7 is a nervous twitch. So what happens is you kind of toss the grenade out into the shadows where this thing leapt off into. There's a huge explosion. There's acid kind of splatters out. Hammer, apparently oblivious to everything. Hammer, when you go overkill, are you shouting? Do you say yeehaw? Do you just fire calmly?
Yeehaw, as loudly as possible.
I love it.
So there's
Your eyes bulging.
that peels out, that echoes through this, and the smart gun is just firing into that corner, and you were just using everything up basically. So what happens is this causes Silva to flinch. Okay. You get a nervous twitch or a tick, Silva. You're a nervous twitch. So that causes you to flinch away, which increases your stress level and the stress level of everyone near you by 1.
Oh.
So your stress goes up by 1, Hammer's goes up by 1, Iona and Mizuki's stress all go up by 1. So you'll notice that there's kind of a thing where the stress will go for a little while. It'll be pretty good for a little while. And then you will just start being on this downward slope of the roller coaster where stress is just flying at you. Things are going crazy. So the two of you should have plenty of stress by this point.
I've got
A lot.
And your smart gun is just probably the only lights here actually, because a lot of the other lights are shattered by the acid. Or your shoulder lamp's probably the only thing, and the flash of the gun in this tiny hallway, and the noise is deafening, and eventually it just abruptly stops as you realize that you have run out of ammunition.
You laugh.
Just a whir, and
I got him.
Ms. Juski is just like, Hammer, you can stop now.
Whew. I got him. You're all welcome.
Ms. Yuski steps around the corner and just there's a bright flash as he just uses the flamethrower in the corner for good measure anyway. And in that light, you can kind of see there's some sort of shattered remains of something there. And you can smell the really sharp acrid scent of acidic smoke again. So when it goes quiet, Hames kind of shouts, "So what the hell just happened in there?"
I think Sylvia is going to direct everyone to leave and signal for Haim to open the door again. And she is going to step out. Boop, 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 boop. And look at Haim.
Okay, go ahead.
And look at Haim and be like, "What kind of prisoner did you have in here with my man? That's not normal."
We just brought in one drunk guy, threw him in there to sleep it off. We don't double him up with anything else. So I don't know.
Apparently you did. Apparently you did, because my man's dead. He doesn't have a face. He has no face.
Haim, it is just looks at you in confusion and then kind of brushes past you to go into the holding area, and then you hear the sound of kind of retching and heaving.
She's gonna turn towards the rest of her crew and be like, "All right, we need to prepare for anything now. What is wrong with Dante?"
Dante is experiencing a medical situation.
A medical situation? Can you get any more vague?
In layman's terms, it would be referred to as a medical situation. I believe the best course of action, if I may, Captain, would be for me to take Dante to a medical facility to perform a life-saving procedure while you and the crew continue investigating.
Fine. Take one of the ATVs.
Thank you, Captain. It's very wise. Thank you. Thank you for your leadership.
You're welcome. All right, let's go. Come on.
For sake of kind of also carrying, or are you just going to carry Dante yourself, or do you want to bring any of the 3 NPC Marines with you?
No, I'm very strong.
Chaplain?
I'm very, very
So
strong.
strong. So swole.
Great. So Chaplain just kind of stands up and easily picks up Dante and marches out. So the scene in the bullpen in the marshal office, the marshal station, is the insurgent just seems to kind of like be staring with like wide eyes, clearly gauging like, I don't know what the hell just happened. I don't know what the hell's going on here. I don't know how the hell to get out of this. So I'm just going to play it cautious. The receptionist seems to have run out the front, and Mason stopped them and is marching them back in at gunpoint. It seems pretty clear that it's not that they were an insurgent agent or anything like that. They just were not really wanting to deal with this crap and ran out the front, but Mason stopped them. Haim is dealing with the reaction to everything that is going on down in the holding area, and the other deputies seem to be a little bit at a loss for what the hell is going on and what to do. So Chaplain and Dante are going to head to San Rocco Medical Facility, cool. I believe. What would Hammer and Silva like to do?
Did we ever get any of that information we came here looking for? We found Reese.
That's all we got. But there's something going on here. If Reese ended up here, there has to be something else going up. Right, Haim? And Silva's going to walk up to Haim. And at this point, she's done. Like, her man is dead. There is something going on here. She's going to take Haim and pin him to a wall with her arm and be like, you're going to tell me what's happening here, or we're going to have some problems.
So Ms. Yuski kind of looks up from where he is poking the corpse with his belt.
So is it like poking?
On our team?
Well, like he's got like the belt has
How
there's a large buckle on the end of it.
Okay,
and he's just kind of like dipping it into the body and like pulling like it's like a big hook, and he kind of like pulls something up.
What a freak!
This is how it gets stinky.
Yeah, exactly. And he's just kind of like, while you're doing this, he's doing, and you slam him against the wall, and he's like, yeah, okay, not my problem. And he's just playing around with the body.
Oh my god.
And you see Iona is trying to figure out where she can look that does not have you beating up the marshal or Ms. Juski in her line of sight, and is having a little bit of trouble figuring that out. But I think she probably actually will head out into the bullpen with Mason, and they will just kind of babysit and corral the deputies there, basically. So you throw this marshal against the wall, and it is not difficult at all to kind of overcome his resolve. And he protests that he has no idea what is happening. We just threw a drunk guy in the cell so he could sleep it off, and then you come in with the guns and the grenades, and we have a bunch of dead. We have whatever the hell that thing is, and a guy with no face. So you tell me what the hell is going on.
I come in here in the guns. You have a Marine in there, a dead Marine, and some kind of creature. So obviously this isn't a drunk sleeping it off. Or do you not know what's happening in your own facility?
Look,
here's
that's
what's
not our
going to
that is not
happen.
our pet dog, so I don't know what the hell is going on.
Yeah, clearly you don't. I want to see your cameras for that room, and I want to see what happened now.
Sure. So
I'm gonna stab out my cigarette on the wall next to his face, just for show.
And then you light one, and then it's like you stub it out, and then immediately light another one.
Yeah. I'm
figure out
halfway
what
through this pack. Oh, I'm more than halfway through this pack.
So right when you say that, you hear some shouts and gunfire from the bullpen, and the sound of the door opening, and it looks like your insurgent is racing off, and Mason and Iona are firing after him.
Yep.
Okay.
She's gonna be like, catch that insurgent. Absolutely not. This facility is out of control.
Okay. So you're going to stay with him while those two pursue the insurgent?
Yeah.
Great. Let's cut away very briefly in our remaining time to the medical facility.
Okay, so
go ahead.
I'm in the medical facility. I would like to perform an emergency surgical procedure to remove the medical situation. This is the order
Sure.
of priorities. Remove the medical situation, incinerate it, and then third priority is to try to save Dante's life.
Okay. So first, let me describe what you encounter, because you may want to adjust your priorities.
Just laying my cards on the
Absolutely.
table.
So you should see the map now. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Great. So as you arrive in, the front desk is empty. Like the receptionist is empty. There's a lot of red blinking lights and problems of calls coming in, being unanswered and stuff like that, but there's no one there. You probably would have seen this facility before, so you probably know its layout. I'm assuming that you are basically heading to the examination surgical area.
Yes, that sounds right.
So 1 second. All right, so you go past reception, you go down the corridor that goes to recovery and surgery. You can go kind of left, you go to the bottom of the map to go to surgery, you go to the top of the map to go to recovery. Just as you are turning into surgery, and you do see that there's a light on in the surgery area that says, surgical bay in use. There is a blood-curdling scream that comes from recovery. Do you care?
No, not
Great.
at all.
So there is a scream from recovery, and there is a voice calling out for a doctor, and you go into surgery. In surgery,
that will be just so we have a running list of my priorities. That will go in slot 4 in my priority list.
3. That's 3 and 2.
Well, three was to save Dante. Just to run back to the list real quick. 1 is to remove the medical situation from Dante. Then number 2 would be to incinerate or otherwise destroy the remains of the medical situation. Then attempt to save Dante. And then 4th, help.
I love how it's the medical situation.
So this is definitely an alien inside Dante's chest, right?
A medical situation.
What?
No, I had a previous
It's
injury.
a medical situation.
Heart palpitations. That's what it is.
Real bad heartburn. There's some chronic acid reflux. So
sure.
You turn the corner and you go into surgery. There are 4 surgery bays here. One of the surgery bays is in use, and you see somebody who looks like they're in doctor scrubs. There's a sedated man in patient garb, kind of in one of the auto docks, and there's a doctor kind of attending to them, and you recognize the person in the auto dock as Carvalho, one of your 4 AWOL Marines that you are attempting to track down.
That was in the doctor attire, or is sedated?
Is sedated and is being attended to.
Do I recognize the doctor?
I don't think that you know anything about like the general citizenry, really.
Okay, so this will now be in slot 4, displacing the scream down to number 5.
Okay.
It's a very close 4, though it may end up being swapped with 3, depending how long this takes.
Okay. So it sounds like you are going to ignore the doctor and Carvalho, and you are going
Can I
to
lock the door
remove
from the outside?
their door.
Yes. Can I make it so that they can't leave while I'm attending to 1, 2, and 3 priorities?
That sounds like a terrible alien thing to do. So I'm going to say yes, you can do
Oh
that.
my god.
Okay. I do
You
have a
have
cutting
sealed-
torch. Can weld it shut,
Sure.
maybe.
Sure. So
Yeah.
you have sealed the doctor in with Carvalho.
Okay, great.
So when you do that, the doctor actually kind of looks up and kind of like waves you away, not realizing that they've been sealed in.
Okay, I make a deferential gesture, like, oh, so
Yeah.
sorry.
Like, I'm trying to save this man's life. Could you just leave me alone? We can talk about it later. Whatever's going on, like talk to the receptionist. You can, because you're carrying a patient basically. Whew. So sounds like you want to do a thing. Is that right?
Yes.
I'm nervous. I'm nervous.
I don't know what Derek's doing behind the scenes, but he's doing a lot.
He's not rolling 10 die, which is all that matters to me.
Wow. Okay.
I thought Hammer and I were in the worst place, but maybe not.
So, Chaplain,
Yes. Yes, mother.
why don't you give me a medical? So you're basically just going to take Dante, dump them in the auto dock, and begin the procedure.
Yes. Okay. So I'm gonna roll.
Why don't you give me a medical aid roll? And you are in an auto dock, so I'm going to give you. It'll probably wash out. I would give you a bonus, but this is also a difficult task. So
Okay.
make your roll. We'll see what we get.
Okay. I've got 1 success, but also 1 stress.
That's a stress success. That's still a success.
Stress.
Yep, that's 2 successes, so you're fine.
Okay.
Just
Great.
like
It's the
real
face
life.
hugger is the one that's dangerous.
Gotcha.
Okay. So, you, like we, the audience, can see indicated on this auto dock. You get like a super movie X-ray kind of thing. There is a almost football-sized living creature in Dante's chest, somewhat cylindrical. You perform the surgery, you kind of spread open her ribs. The camera kind of sees this thing for the first time, and it is very clearly an embryonic alien. It's got the long head. It's got a tail wrapped around itself. It's got legs kind of tucked in. And, as you kind of start touching it with the surgical implements, like some sort of little like demon baby, like its mouth kind of opens up and it's like, and like there's these needle sharp metal teeth in there, and it's just like,
And I say, shh.
Oh my god, I'm a
and that
chaplain
puts your
fan.
demon baby back to sleep. So you have successfully removed this from Dante.
Very good.
What would you like to do with it?
Okay. So that's priority 1. So next, is there any sort of incinerator type device or any obvious way I can see to destroy the embryo?
You have a
Other
bunch of
than-
you have a bunch of surgical implements that you could just deploy on it.
Okay. Yeah. I've got a cutting torch. Can I just burn it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. I like to burn it. It seems cleaner to me.
Okay. So you're going to take it out of her, maybe like put it somewhere on the floor and just start torching it.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
Is there anything else flammable with me? Could I put a little splash of gas on it?
I don't think there's like a gas tank nearby or anything like that.
Okay. Well, we'll just we'll just start burning it.
Sure. So I think this is going to be one of those great camera moments where like you kind of put the thing on the ground and you can see that it like its mouth opens up again and its tail starts to like slowly unwrap around itself and stretch out, and its legs start to move. And just as like, you know, it looks like it's maybe going to get up to move, you come in with the torch and we just see like the heat rise from the bottom of the camera, and then you go out of focus. And over your shoulder, we see into the other surgery room where you see Carvalho, who is sedated, their head kind of move back and forth and their eyes open. And then there just starts to scream, get it out. And the doctor goes over to try to sedate it. And then there is just like a fountain of blood spattering the windows and obscuring any further reactions there. So you have a burning pile of exotic xenobiological refuse here.
That sounds like a good Friday night.
Oh my
Yep.
god, Friday night at Gen Con, let's go.
I presume that you are going to kind of close up Dante, and that was your priority 3, was save Dante's
Yes,
life, right?
we'll keep that at 3 because I feel pretty good about the door welding gambit.
Why don't you give me a quick, give me another medical roll on that?
Okay, yeah.
Cross your fingers, Dante.
Ah!
I'm so not okay with this.
Oops, I accidentally hit 2. They both would be, well, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, you're fine.
Hit it twice.
So Dante, I'm not sure what the rules are for having just undergone open heart surgery, basically.
Ow.
But I'm gonna say that you go down to 1 health.
That sounds right.
So like go down to 1 health, role play that like you literally just had your chest opened. It is alien, it is the future. You know, the movies have shown people have surgeries and then get up and run around with flamethrowers and stuff like that. So I'm not necessarily going to prevent you from doing anything, but remember to grunt appropriately and maybe spit up blood every now and then for the camera. Are you gonna counteract the sedation and allow Dante control of themselves again, or do you keep them under?
I've really burned the stuff down, right?
Yeah. It looks
the medical situation. Okay. I'll unsedate Dante in that case.
Okay.
Is that what it's called? Unsedating. I'm imagining like in Pulp Fiction, like the syringe or the adrenaline.
Yeah, you probably inject something to counteract the sedation. Dante, you are going to be like, for the rest of this scene, you're going to be like a little bit out of it, but not unable to act. Something smells real bad, and your chest hurts a lot. And then you touch it, and there is a lot of blood and some new sutures and scarring there.
Oh, what? Yeah, where's everybody?
Dante, you have, is there a history of heart disease in your family?
No. Give me a minute. Do you have pain meds?
Yes. I'll get first some.
Give me the bottle. This is accident.
Good one.
Accident that happened. That's why I'm stuck here. This damn thing.
So Chaplain, you're going to turn away to go get pain meds, and at that moment, Dante, Chaplain just collapses, like a puppet with its strings cut. Chaplain just falls to the floor. So we're going to cut back to the Marshal station.
No, I stand Chaplain. No, we stand Chaplain in this house.
We're gonna cut back to the Marshal station.
What did I do?
So in the Marshal station, what exactly is going on here? Where you're all in the bullpen?
Yeah,
that's right. Your insurgent ran off. You
were
going to go
check him against a wall. We're trying to figure out what the deal is.
You were going to go check the feeds, the security feeds.
Yep.
Great. Let us cut back to the Marshal station, even if those tokens aren't really applying.
That was really tough for me, but I got through it.
Oh my
Glad that you're
god.
sticking with it. So, as you're kind of examining the security feeds, Silva and Hammer, you can notice that this has a security hookup to basically security feeds all throughout the settlement, and you can kind of cycle through them and get a feed on a lot of stuff. However, many more of these cameras are inoperable. A lot of them seem to have spray paint over most of the lens, or there's just a static feed off of them. They don't seem to be in great repair. If you kind of do an assessment, you probably would guess that maybe only 40% or less are working properly. You get to the feeds of we start with the archival footage of when Reese was brought in, and it's two of the deputies that you saw there that are still there, bringing Reese in, almost having to carry Reese. Reese can't really walk at all. They throw Reese in the holding cell, and the cameras aren't a constant feed in all of the cells. They kind of like loop through as recordings, so it's like you get 10 minutes. Probably get like a couple minutes, and then it cuts, and then 10 minutes later you get a couple minutes, and then 10 minutes later you get a couple minutes. And at one point it just cuts from Reese sleeping peacefully to the wall in front of Reese splattered with blood, and some thing squirming out of his chest, and then kind of turning back to start feeding, and then it cuts away. And then it cuts back to Reese's body just laying there, and then it cuts away. And then it cuts back to the creature kind of climb, like this weird, like small head and kind of a body, like elongated with these multiple little legs on it, and this long kind of sinewy tail, like scuttle up the wall towards the ceiling. And from that point on, it cuts away, cuts back, cuts away, cuts back, and it's just Reese's body cooling and drying. Go ahead.
I think as I am watching this, like I'm slowly like sinking back in like whatever chair is there, and just like taking a cigarette out and just being like, and just like lighting it. And I think by the time we get to the end of it, like I have brought up like my military Snapchat again, but like I think at this point it is now the expanded military Snapchat where I'm notifying the officials that we have a problem.
Sure. So right when you are about to like light the cigarette, as you would go to light it, there's a muffled explosion that shakes the Marshall station, and you can actually, the glass kind of wiggles and vibrates, and you can see that there was a huge explosion over in Fort Nebraska. And that is the exact moment that Chaplin's body fell.
Oh.
So we have reached the end of our kind of allotted time.
Oh dang!
For the adventure, and we pretty much barely got through Act 1 because there was just so much kind of there to dig into. But I kind of wanted to give everybody a chance to maybe like talk about how that went, how they enjoyed that, how they liked the Roll20 interface.
That was cool as hell.
Yeah. I like
was
it.
I had a lot of fun.
So
The chest surgery thing wasn't cool. I thought that was super scary, and I had no ability to cover my ears, but I muted myself as I squealed.
Oh, that squeal would have been a perfect clip, though.
We got some body horror.
So you began to discover what was going on with these Marines. You found at least two of them.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, who's the second one?
We found the dudes.
Carvalho.
Carvalho in the hospital. Yeah, Carvalho in the hospital. Yeah.
Is the intel like aliens? Is that what they're transporting? Aliens?
I
I
wonder.
know.
I
Like, I don't want to
wonder.
spoiler it now because there's a whole group of people who are watching this in chat who might actually play the game now. So I don't want to spoiler it, but that was
Yeah.
really
Jordan, you were gonna say something?
Oh no.
Oh no.
I'm sorry.
Wait.
If I did,
Nope.
then I forgot. I mean, I was saying, yeah, we finally got to the body horror with
cool.
the surgery, and then
Took me a little bit.
And the missing face and
Yeah.
open chest in the
Ugh.
Marshall
Yeah.
Station.
I guess
Yeah,
that-
like that. I've definitely found that as a GM, those are the things that I enjoy the most. Is just those squirmy descriptions.
Yeah. I mean,
Ooh.
if you are in the stream for body horror, don't worry because there's still more body horror coming this
Mm.
evening.
Yes.
Yeah.
we
So
have the very-
that's a good reminder, just to let everybody know, is that Jordan and our customer service manager Boozer will be watching Invasion of the Body Snatchers starting at 8 p.m. Pacific. So what, like 50 minutes?
Yeah.
yeah,
Something like
Yeah.
that?
49
From now?
minutes from now. Be
That's
here
my first time
more.
hearing that name, Boozer.
It's his
I
real
love
name.
it.
He's
It's
very,
his
love
real,
it
it's his
so
actual name.
much.
his name is I've had a running joke, which maybe we can make real, that he should have a show called The Booze Cruise with Mike Boozer, and
Pretty good.
have him
I
on
like
stream in a nautical theme, and he would make drinks and just talk about, I guess, games, but it doesn't really
Yeah.
the theme doesn't really go past the name, but
I mean, it works.
You can do it.
Oh, yeah. So let's talk briefly about what's happening on Saturday, too. So if you enjoyed seeing the brief snippet of what occurred here tonight, we actually have a couple opportunities this weekend for you to physically play the game, too, on Roll20. So over the course of Saturday, we are having a community gaming day on our Discord. We have several GMs provided to us by our good friends at Free League who are running the exact scenario that we are playing today. So if you want to play through it with your friends, or if you want to play through it yourself, if you think you can chain smoke better than me, God bless you. I encourage you to head over to our Discord and sign up. Once you access our Discord, there is a schedule available on the community schedule channel. I will tell you ahead of time that the bot we usually use to schedule events died conveniently yesterday.
Oh.
So instead, we have a physical sign-up sheet. I think we still have spots available in most of those games. And we also have people running a bunch of other games too, like Cult of the Deep. We have Sanctuary Saga running as well. We have a lot of cool stuff. So if you want to play games on Halloween and get spooky with your friends, tomorrow is a great opportunity to do so. Or you can
You have to admit that it is in keeping with Alien for us to have relied on a bot who ultimately betrayed our trust.
I know it's so I actually talked to the creator of the bot this morning just to like confer with him when he thought he would be able to get it fixed, and he was like, technology is a curse, and I'm like, yeah, man.
I know that. So Javion,
Hi.
again, I wanted to thank you for joining us for some horror, because again, you were definitely on the edge of your seat, it sounds like.
Yeah.
So I always appreciate it and want to thank you for when you can kind of stick through it. So out of curiosity, now that you have done 2 Alien sessions, you've done 2 horror games, and you've stuck through both, has it changed your opinion of horror at all? Has it changed how much horror you can tolerate? Do you feel like that, or have you just enduring it?
That's a good question. Last time I think was even scarier than this one, honestly, because of all the moving around and investigating in the dark and splitting up and looking for clues and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure all I want to do is play a flirty boy. So
That's a mood.
I mean, I will tolerate a lot as long as I get to do that. So I think I think I'm okay with horror in some contexts, but I don't think
Maybe
I'm
next time you
more
can
warmed
fight
up
Bonsai to
it.
play Dante and
Yeah.
be flirty boy Dante.
Yeah.
Oh, you can.
So how about the rest of you? How did you feel playing through Alien? Because I think this is also Bonsai's like second game, but I think 4th session, because you were in all 3 of the old one, right?
Yep. I was in all three. I want to keep going. I need to keep going with this story. Come on.
Oh.
I
Like that's the thing
know.
is I wish we could do another session of this so we could finish off the campaign. It's so
Yeah.
cool. I've become totally used to bonsai being purple, by the way. This is
Oh,
just like
yeah.
my new normal.
I'm just purple now. It's part of my branding. My new branding is purple skin.
It's a tough, it's
you're
a competitive
the new
market. You got to
Thanos.
stand out.
Yeah, there you go.
Personal brand.
Well, so I would definitely say if anybody is watching and they would like to see more Alien, A, let us know, and
Mhm.
B, let Free League know and check out their implementation of the modules on Roll20. I think reaching out to Free League, letting them know how much you enjoyed this, and buying those modules is probably the most direct way to support us doing more of this, which we would certainly love to do in the future. If anybody in chat has any questions about how this was set up, or they want to see another element, or they want to see another kind of implementation or tool, while we still have a few minutes before Marcus has to begin behind the scenes preparing for the watch party stream, let us know. We'll see what we can kind of show you on stream. Jordan, you have played very few RPGs.
Yeah, not a ton. I now have a pretty regular D&D campaign, but before that, I hadn't really played a whole lot. I'm sort of somewhat new to RPGs. So
you're running that campaign, right?
I am with 100% no preparation.
Wow.
It's all over the place. There's a stagecoach. There's a sort of religion of people who celebrate the worm, and so they go around on their stomachs at all times.
I love that.
That's cool. I like it.
But yeah, I think yeah, I've played like that. I've played The Quiet Year, and then this. So it's this is
Quiet Year is good.
Quiet Year,
Quiet
super
Year's
fun.
great.
So I mean, I guess the question I have is, you jumped feet first into running D&D. So now that you've kind of been running D&D a little bit, you've played a little bit of this. Do you have any kind of thoughts as a new player that you might want to share with folks?
I think that the thing that surprised me about like playing D&D or tabletop role playing games in general is I think my perception before was that it was going to be so much about like the rules and doing math and that type of thing, and really then the takeaway and things that I've advice that I've gotten from Derek and other people who are good at running games is like the point is the story, and the point is the experience that you're having. It doesn't matter necessarily what the rules are, so just like make things up in such a way that you're having fun. And I think that knowing that, and knowing that like just like telling a story together is the real like substance of of what the game is has been what's drawn me in and made it fun. I think that that was different than what I perceived just from or that's different than what I would have thought of before.
How did you find this different or similar to D&D? Like, did you find this difficult to get into? Did you find the mechanics particularly problematic?
I think, I mean, like with my other campaign, we're using D&D Beyond, and then with this having the Roll20 tool, it kind of makes a lot of the like figuring out which dice to use and figuring out, how to resolve checks and everything. It makes it pretty easy to figure out. So I like, I like I liked having this, since it was set up as like a published campaign. We've got like our characters and we have like hidden agendas. I think that all made it definitely made it really interesting. And I like the stress mechanic that you can kind of like try something, but eventually it will catch up to you.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think that we got a pretty strong hint as to your personal secret agenda. But, I think if people were to guess what it was, I think they would be a little off base. I would love a chance to kind of explore that a little bit further. Is there anything else that anybody kind of wants to share about their thoughts on Alien, or their thoughts on the Roll20 implementation of it?
Oh, it's so smooth. The Roll20 stuff.
Mhm.
It's so nice and smooth, and it's easy to just get into it and not have to worry about the numbers. So you can just focus on actually getting like stuff done, and you can always have the review notes categorized right back in place, so you don't have to like, oh, where's that? You know,
It does so much
It's-
work for you.
it does. If it ever goes away, oh no, we're gonna have to
Yeah.
do it all for us.
Because that's for me. So I got into tabletop gaming like my first introduction to nerd stuff was actually LARPing, not tabletopping.
Cool.
So a lot of the math part was not a factor for me, right? So it was always very intimidating for me to get into tabletop stuff because of the amount of math that was involved, and I didn't want to feel like I was failing or like stumbling around when something dramatic was happening. So Roll20 was a super easy and friendly transition for me because I didn't have to worry about the math because it was doing all the back end math for me. And every time I step into a new system, because I'm comfortable with D&D now, that makes more sense to me. But with systems outside of that, Roll20 has made it like a ton easier for me.
Yeah, it's interesting if you compare how I was running Alien before. I didn't really use the maps at all. We kind of just winged it because that was just easier for me to deal with at the time. Especially because we were keeping the studio pretty dark. We didn't have a table with tokens on it or anything like that. But the implementation here with Destroyer of Worlds does make me want to use those tokens.
Right?
I associate the tokens with your character. Like there's some neat tricks in there. You just got to get used to it. But it meant that like I could track and I knew where the alien was. I knew what was going on. I could keep a track of that very easily without revealing it to you or without me having to maintain a separate map or whatever. And I really, really enjoyed being able to just slide secrets to people. Like I was able to send Bonsai, the detail of what was going on with her, like relatively subtly. But there was also just the nice moments of having some of these art and pictures that I could just show to the players. So it was pretty cool. I really liked it. I was very excited to give it a shot this week. My only real regret is that we didn't have more time to play. And
too.
hopefully we can do more in the future.
Derek, you are such a good GM. Your character voices, but like also just helping people understand the rules.
Why did you knock your character voices? Your character voices are great.
They all sound the same.
No, they don't.
That's not true.
Don't knock yourself.
Want more episodes? More episodes.
More episodes.
One
Where's
more
Free
show.
League? More show.
One more show. Yeah. So if you liked it, let Free League know, and hopefully we
I
can
still
do
have
more.
Free League. I still have 18 boxes of candy cigarettes I have to get through.
Oh yeah,
So.
there you go.
You're here for the long haul. All right. Well, thank you again for watching, everybody. Make sure to stick around because Jordan is going to co-host Invasion of the Body Snatchers with our customer service manager, Mike Boozer. So they will be sticking around for some more spooky Halloween excitement. That starts at 8 p.m. Pacific. So you have a little over a half hour. You will need to make sure that you have an Amazon Prime account and that you have linked it to your Twitch account. So it gives you plenty of time to go take care of that if you haven't done it previously. Remember that we do have plenty of other shows that stream regularly. Monday nights. Yeah, she's definitely infected
Oh,
with
no.
some sort of alien.
He's out. You're in a bed.
Monday nights at 6 p.m. Pacific, we have board games with the Brothers Murph. Wednesday at 1:30 p.m., we have This Game Gets Dicey. 4 p.m. on Wednesday is Fireside with Peter Atkinson, talking about or interviewing new designers in the D&D space. Fridays at 2 p.m. we have Table Takes, which hopefully some of you enjoyed earlier today. Remember to follow the channel, turn on notifications so that you know when we are live. If you've missed anything, if you want to see an old episode, if you want to see the original Alien session that we ran of Charity of the Gods, that is up on YouTube. Thanks again for watching. Thanks to all four of you, Bonsai, Kelsey, Jordan, and Javion for playing. It was fantastic. I hope you enjoyed yourselves, and we will see you again soon.
Bye.
Bye.